Chapter 2796. Last time, Qin Yun had easily made the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan elder speak. Now that Xiao Yuelon was going to capture the Sun En Divine tribe for interrogation, it was appropriate to bring him along. In Qin Yun's eyes, the En God tribe is a very weak existence because the Sun Moon tribe's emperor does not look very strong. Does the Sun En Divine tribe know so much? Qin Yun doesn't know much about the situation of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun being corroded, but Xiao Yuelon and the other 9 Sun Divine maidens definitely know. Shine the core of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun. You can communicate with the 9 Suns Dharma spirit from time to time, so you can more or less understand some things. The Grand Godly Monarch definitely knows. I suspect that it was the Grand Godly Monarch who joined forces with the law enforcement world and some of the powerful races of the heaven-splitting ancient clan to do this in secret. Xiao Yuelon lightly snorted. This great divine king is extremely ambitious. The Sun Moon tribe's emperor is the great divine king's lackey. He will definitely be involved. When Yun saw Xiao Yuelon's guess, she was extremely shocked. The great divine lord wants to deal with the 9 Yang Law spirit. How is this possible? Wasn't his divine king heavenly seal given by the 9 Yang Dharma spirit? It was given by the 9 Yang Dharma spirit. However, the 9 Yang Dharma spirit could be retrieved in the future. Big the God King wants to control all the divine sons of the myriad realms. So he wants the 9 sons Dharma spirits to turn evil. This way, he will have a chance to fight against the 9 sons Dharma spirits. Yuelon wiped the long saber in her hand. She is already prepared for a big battle. Qin Yun still did not understand, and asked, "What benefits does the 9 Yang Law spirit have to Great Divine Lord and the others to transform into evil spirits? It might even lead to the destruction of the divine desolate heavens. After the 9 Yang Dharma spirit transforms into an evil spirit, there will be a period of weakness. If evil wants to suppress good, there will definitely be a price to pay. Or if the 9 Yang Dharma spirits, good and evil, are separated, this will cause the 9 Yang Dharma spirit to become very weak." With Xiao Yuelon's explanation, Qin Yun came to a realization. Xiao Yuelon put away the long saber in her hand, stood up, and said, "Mu Yu was in this situation back then. She forced out the evil side, causing her to become very weak, and the evil side is the same. Does that mean Yu Xieji has been recuperating in the Heaven Secrets Gate for a long time?" Qin Yun thought of Yu Xieji and felt hatred in his heart. The last time he saw Yu Xieji, he did not have enough strength to kill her. It was Yu Xieji who schemed with Dark Moon and Blood Moon to frame him and almost cause their deaths. Moon Xieji was the main culprit, and the Heaven Secrets sect was involved. Qin Yun would never let them off. "Yes, Xiao Yun, let's go to the Sun En God tribe and capture one of the higher-ups. Let's see if we can get anything out of him. If we can't, we'll go to the heaven-splitting ancient clan." Yuelon pulled Qin Yun's hand and immediately set off. She was the 9 Sun Divine Lady. She was in such a hurry now. Perhaps she was going to complete the Divine Lady's mission. She had previously said that if there was a chance, she would bring Qin Yun along. Now it was finally an opportunity. After Qin Yun was pulled out of the villa by Xiao Yuelon, he asked in low voice, "Yuelon, where you go to find the core members of the Sun En Divine race? Let's go to the Sun En Divine race's territory first. We will investigate there." Xiao Yuelon said, "I have an idea. I know Great Elder Ling. I can entrust him with this matter," Qin Yun said with smile. Xiao Yuelon also learned about the Great Heaven Divine race's Ling family from the Magic Mirror. Back then, Great Elder Ling forcibly gave Ling Daixin to Qin Yun. This became a frequent topic of discussion among many people. "Xiao Yun, what exactly is that Great Elder Ling planning? Is there any problem with the beauty he gave you?" Xiao Yuelon also knows that the Divine Universe Golden Stones that the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan compensated are with Great Elder Ling. Qin Yun said with smile. "Daixin said before that she wanted to see you. I said that you are very fierce and will even attack." Yuelon immediately pinched Qin Yun and said with low smile, "You are saying bad things about me again." Qin Yun brought Xiao Yuelon through the Heaven Flame City's teleportation formation and arrived at the city built by the Ling family, Ling Tian Divine City. This city has only been built recently, and it is not yet complete. However, many people of the Ling family have already entered the city, and it is gradually operating. This city is located on a vast plateau, and there is a very large divine universe amethyst under the city. Qin Yun is not too clear about how big it is. In short, it is a very precious thing of the Ling family. If anyone has any ideas about this divine universe amethyst, the Ling family will definitely fight them to the death. Not many people know about this matter. Great Elder Ling trusts Qin Yun, so he told Qin Yun. Ling Great Elder views Qin Yun as one of his own. Otherwise, he would not have given Qin Yun a great heaven bloodline heavenly rune. Ling, every few days, dense purple clouds will cover the sky above the heavenly God city. Extremely dense divine universe purple energy will cover the entire city. So this city is very attractive. Regarding the city's defense, Great Elder Ling also told Qin Yun through the magic mirror that it uses spatial formation pillars. Spatial formation pillars are huge formation pillars. There is a space inside the formation pillars, and there are many complex runes inside the formation pillars. Like this, there is no need to have too many formation pillars surrounding the city. There are a total of 8 spatial formation pillars that look like pillars supporting the sky. There is also no need to build city walls. In the divine universe, purple energy produced by the huge divine universe amethyst underground will be controlled by the formation pillars and will not leak out. The energy absorbed by the formation comes from the divine universe amethyst underground. Qin after Yun and Xiao Yuelan arrived at the teleportation formation. The one who came to receive them is Ling Qinxiu. Xiao Yuelan and Qin Yun are both wearing blue clothes. They are not wearing any masks or disguises. When Ling Qinxiu saw the man and woman coming out of the teleportation formation, he can't help but be secretly surprised. Qin Yun did not come with Ling Daixin. He came with another woman. He did not say anything. He just politely said a few words to Qin Yun and then invited him into a luxurious large flying car. The Ling Mansion is not in the center of the Ling Tian Divine City, but in the eastern part of the city. There is a large restricted area there. The inside is like a small town that is the Ling family's residence. When Qin Yun arrived, he can feel that the huge divine universe amethyst is below. That great heaven emperor is quite a character. It seems that he is much more powerful than the Sun En Emperor. Xiao Yuelan looked out of the window and saw the spacious Ling Mansion. Have you seen the great heaven emperor? Qin Yun asked. No, Sister Shan said so. In short, we must guard against the great heaven emperor. After all, he is the disciple of the great divine king. Xiao Yuelan said. Not long after, the large carriage landed on the roof of a small building in the Ling Mansion. Great Elder Ling is on the roof, smiling as he welcomed Qin Yun. Ling Wen Great Elder saw Qin Yun and a woman come down. He can't help but be stunned. He thought that Qin Yun came with Ling Daixin. Old Ling, Daixin is in seclusion cultivation. This is my wife, Qin Yun said with a smile. When Great Elder Ling heard that Qin Yun came with his wife, his expression changed and a trace of fear flashed through his eyes. In Chapter 2797, many people are very curious about the 9-Sun Divine Maiden. They only know that they can enter the core of the myriad realms Divine Sun and obtain the great power bestowed by the Divine Sun in the eyes of many living beings in the Divine Desolate. The 9-Sun Divine Maiden is a high and mighty existence that is revered by billions of people. Even those powerful clans do not dare to look down on the mysterious 9-Sun Divine Maiden, because the formation of the myriad realms Divine Sun and the birth of many powerful clans in the Divine Desolate are all thanks to the help of the 9-Sun Divine Maiden. Furthermore, the stronger the myriad realms Divine Sun becomes, the stronger the 9-Sun Divine Maiden will become. Moreover, the 9-Sun Divine Maiden can also help the myriad realms Divine Sun to grow. As for the process, not many people know. Only they know that the 9-Sun Divine Maiden cannot be provoked. Grand Elderling is one of the strongest people in the entire great heavenly divine clan. Such as now that he knows that the nine-sun divine maiden is in front of him, he can't help but secretly feel fear. He doesn't know why he feels this kind of fear. Greetings, great Elderling. Xiao Yuelon was very polite as she greeted him with a faint smile. Grand Elderling hastily smiled. Please come in, please come in. Grand Elderling and Ling Chinxiong invited Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon to a comfortable and quiet living room and took out some divine fruits and snacks for them. After Ling Chinxiong left, Qin Yun said, Old Ling, we are here to inquire about the Sun In Divine Clan. We need to find a core member of the Sun In Divine Clan. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuelon and signaled her to explain in detail. Grand Elderling is somewhat puzzled and frowned as he listened attentively. It would be best if we can find someone who knows the core secrets of the Sun In Divine Clan. We must capture this guy and interrogate him. Xiao Yuelon is also very direct. This Grand Elderling is startled. The Nine-Sun Divine Maiden actually wants to capture a core member of the Sun In Divine Clan? What is the matter? I have no intention of inquiring about it. It is just that we understand the Sun In Divine Clan quite well. If they have any secrets, we might know them. Grand Elderling lit a cigarette and took a deep puff. He also realized that this matter was very important. Otherwise, the Jiang Divine Maiden wouldn't have been the one to capture and interrogate him. Xiao Yuelon said, It's related to the Great Divine Lord. Because I suspect that the Great Divine Lord and many other forces have joined hands to spread the divine power of the Heavenly Devil Divine Sun and Heavenly Evil Divine Sun to the Divine Desolate and the Myriad Realms Divine Sun. This matter is more serious. Let me discuss it with the Clan Emperor. First, Elderling's expression changed a few times before he took out the demonic mirror. He knew, but he was not sure if he could tell Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon continued. They want to transform the Nine-Sun Dharma spirit into an evil spirit. This is a disaster for the entire Divine Desolate. If your Ling family doesn't join their side, you will definitely become their enemy. Grand Elderling nodded slightly. He was in contact with the Emperor of the Extreme Sky Tribe. What he needed to do now was to search for clues, find the source, and then destroy their Heavenly Devil Sun and Heavenly Evil Sun to prevent the Nine Suns' lost spirit from deteriorating. Only as long as the righteous side of the Nine Yang Dharma spirit remained, there was still a possibility of a comeback. After a while, Grand Elder Ling said, We know about this matter. Our Ling family did not participate. Ling family did not participate. Then did the other clans of the Extreme Sky Divine Race participate? Xiao Yuelon asked. Grand Elder Ling nodded his head and sighed. There is no way to stop them. They are too strong. Moreover, the Nine-Sun Law Spirit is constantly deteriorating. Even if we stop it, the Nine-Sun Law Spirit will not be able to return to normal. Yin looked at Xiao Yuelon and said in low voice, Yuelon, what is the situation of the Nine-Sun Law Spirit? I'm not sure. I only know that the consciousness of the Nine-Sun Law Spirit is very vague and occasionally very normal. Xiao Yuelon shook her head and said with frown, But no matter what, I must do my best to stop them. As for how they are moving, our Ling family is not clear. But we know that they are gathering in one place. Grand Elder Ling used the demonic mirror to project a map on the ground. They often go in and out of one place. It is here. Grand Elder Ling pointed at a large mountain range on the map. Do you know what they're doing inside? Xiao Yuelon asked. Ling Grand Elder shook his head and said, I don't know. This mountain range is very large. There should be a treasure land inside. There is a very strong illusion formation enveloping it. It should be the influence of the illusion race. That's why we can only see a large mountain range when we look down from the sky. Our Ling family only wants to develop steadily so that we can deal with the disaster of the Nine-Sun Holy Land. Therefore, we don't have a deep understanding of it. Ling family knows that the threat inside the Nine-Sun Holy Land is very terrifying, so they have to focus on dealing with it. And now that they know that the Nine-Sun Law Spirit is deteriorating, it is another threat that they cannot ignore. Their secret stronghold is very close to the Heavenly Fox mountain range. There's a Heavenly Fox city outside the Heavenly Fox mountain range. After teleporting to the Heavenly Fox city, we will be able to reach their stronghold in half a day. Grand Elder Ling shrunk the map again and saw the Heavenly Fox mountain range and Heavenly Fox city. Ling Grand Elder operated the demonic mirror and sent the map to Qin Yun's demonic mirror. If the 9 Sun Lost Spirit's evil spirit deteriorates, and those powers are behind it, what kind of serious consequences will there be? Grand Elder Ling very solemnly asked. It can be seen that this kind of threat is very great to them. With the participation of the great divine kings, a portion of the heaven-opening ancient race and the law enforcement realm, if they can really succeed, they will be able to control the 9 Sun Lost Spirit, just like how they controlled Yu Xieji. Xiao Yuelan said. Then the divine desolate is still very stable? Grand Elder Ling only hopes that the Ling family will have enough time to grow and resist the crisis of the 9 Sun Holy Land. If they are unable to suppress the 9 Sun evil spirit, or if something goes wrong, then the divine desolate will definitely fall into turmoil. At least a few of the myriad realms' divine sons will not be able to operate normally and will enter a berserk state from time to time. It will be extremely harmful to the divine desolate. Xiao Yuelan said. I will tell this matter to the clan emperor and let him assess whether or not this is a threat to the Ling family. Grand Elder Ling nodded. His words are very clear. As long as the Ling family's development is endangered, the Ling family will take action. Can your heaven-reaching divine city lead to the Heavenly Fox City? Qin Yun asked. He and Xiao Yuelan are going to the Heavenly Fox City immediately. Of course, with the help of the Myriad Realm's divine court, our teleportation formation is also accessible from all directions. Grand Elder Ling promptly sent Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan to the teleportation formation. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan very quickly arrived at the Heavenly Fox City. Grand Elder Ling also passed on the information regarding the Sun Yin Divine race. For example, the core members of the Sun Yin Divine race who frequently go in and out of the stronghold are mainly the trusted aides of the elders and the emperor of the Sun Yin Divine race. Chapter 2798. A complete copy I will update the latest chapter of the 9 Suns Divine King as soon as possible. Xiao Yun, let's capture a guy from the Sun Yin Divine race first. Xiao Yuelan said. This way, we can understand the situation of that stronghold. Qin Yun nodded. He and Xiao Yuelan had slightly disguised themselves so that they did not look that eye-catching. Their current attire and appearance looked very ordinary. No one would look at them more than a few times on the street. Qin Yun looked at the magic mirror and said, These guys that old Ling sent me often walk around the Heaven Fox City. Although I know what they look like, it won't be easy to find them. In this city, there must be a business that specializes in helping people find people, Xiao Yuelan said with a smile. I heard that the Heavenly Fox Empress of the Heavenly Fox clan has a good relationship with the Divine Moon clan. I know her. Qin Yun smiled and said, When I impersonated the jade-faced Rat King, I knew this little fox. Xiao Yuelan laughed and scolded. Are you the one who seduced her, or is she the one who seduced you? Of course she seduced me. Qin Yun pulled Xiao Yuelan's hand and walked towards an inn. This inn was called the White Fox Inn. It was of a high class and should be the property of the Heavenly Fox clan. After Qin Yun asked for a room, he entered the room with Xiao Yuelan and began talking about his experience with Humei Xiao Yuelan likes to deal with beauties. Although Humei and Qin Yun are only friends and they have never contacted each other, she believes that they are very reliable. Because the Heavenly Fox clan had once been threatened by the law enforcers, it was Yu Yaoyao who came forward to help the Heavenly Fox clan. Since then, the Heavenly Fox clan had always hated the law enforcement world. The Sky Fox tribe was under a lot of pressure as the law enforcers were close to the Sun Moon Divine tribe. In his room, Qin Yun used a magic mirror to contact Humei Little sister Hu, your big brother Yun is currently at the White Fox Inn in Heaven Fox City. I need your help. Humei replied immediately. Brother Yun, I'll be right there. Don't wander around. There are many law enforcement world and Sun and Divine tribe members in the Sky Fox City, who may have very sensitively thought that Qin Yun must have come to Heaven Fox City for some reason. She was worried that Qin Yun would clash with those powerful factions, so she warned Qin Yun in a very serious manner. After Qin Yun cut off contact with Humei he could not help but frown. There must be a reason why Humei is so sensitive. What's wrong? Is this cute little fox angry at you? You have already contacted him before, and now that you have something to do, it is normal for you to be angry. Xiao Yuelon laughed. No, she told me not to wander around, and that she would come to find me immediately. She also said that the situation in the city is not right. There are people from the law enforcement world and the Sun and Divine tribe. Qin Yun shook his head. When Xiao Yuelon heard this, she also felt that something was wrong. She said in a deep voice, "Could it be that the Heavenly Fox clan has discovered something? They're so close to the stronghold, so it's normal for them to notice that something's wrong." The Sky Fox Mountain Range is only half a day's journey from that stronghold, and the Sky Fox Mountain Range is quite famous. It is also a thorn in the side of the law enforcement world. When Qin Yun said this, Xiao Yuelon, who was sitting on the chair, immediately stood up. "Let's go, we'll immediately rush to the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range." Xiao said, "Do you have a way to sense little Sister Fox?" Qin Yun took out Humei soul-chasing talisman. Back then, he had interacted with Humei for a period of time and left her soul-chasing talisman. Then, he used the magic mirror to contact Humei, but there was no response. Xiao Yuelon immediately flew out of the window and shouted, "She might be in danger. Let's hurry up and go take a look." Qin Yun held the soul-chasing talisman and flew in the air with Xiao Yuelon. Following the guidance of the soul-chasing talisman, he increased his speed and rushed to Humei's side. Not long after, they saw the entrance of the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range from high up in the sky. A wave of energy rushed over and smoke and dust billowed from that location. Someone is fighting there. Sure enough, someone is ambushing her, the Heavenly Fox Clan's Empress. Xiao Yuelon snorted, took out her long saber, and decisively rushed into the battlefield below. Qin Yun is also very anxious. Xiao Yuelon's judgment is correct. The Heavenly Fox Clan has always been under threat. Those powerful clans even want to capture Humei and plunder the entire Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. After all, this mountain range is a pretty good treasure land. Qin Yun took out the Myriad Heaven Divine Saber and then took out the Gemini Treasure Mirror to illuminate the battlefield below. "Brother Taisher, what kind of enemies are down there? You can block them with the Sun Heavenly Shield. Don't worry and fight." After the Gemini Treasure Mirror gave him a hint, Qin Yun felt even more at ease and rushed down to the battlefield below. However, just as he went down, he saw the sharp, long saber in Xiao Yuelon's hand instantly split an old man's body into two. The terrifying aura on Xiao Yuelon's body surged like a violent gale. Wave after wave rushed out. Qin Yun took a deep breath. The divine power on Xiao Yuelon's body is very strong divine sun power. The divine power Xiao Yuelon uses is scorching hot and tyrannical. When she attacks, it is extremely ferocious. Basically, she slashes one to pieces with one saber strike. Humei's charming face is as pale as paper. Her eyes are bloodshot. Clearly, she has suffered serious internal injuries. After Xiao Yuelon arrived, she crazily slashed her way towards Humei and arrived beside her. Qin Yun gathered all the divine power in his body and released supergravity, causing those people attacking Xiao Yuelon and Humei to suddenly become weightless and float in the air. Those people are extremely strong. After being enveloped by gravity, their bodies became weightless in the blink of an eye, and they immediately broke free. However, just as they broke free from gravity, their bodies were chopped into pieces by Xiao Yuelon's sweeping saber. In the blink of an eye, a large number of broken bodies floated in the air, filled with a strong and bitter smell of blood. And Xiao Yuelon's eyes are completely red. Her killing intent is incomparably strong. Her entire body is emitting an ice-cold, baleful aura. She looks like a cold, killing god who has entered a berserk state. Although this is not the first time Qin Yin saw Xiao Yuelon fight so well, every time he sees her, he feels very shocked. After all, not long ago, she was still a pretty woman, but in the blink of an eye, she seems to have changed into a different person. Xiao Yuemei and Liu Shuyan are also like this because they both have a kind of killing god bloodline. Qin Yin did not attack much. He only used heaven-extinguishing 9 fingers, super gravity, and tree vines and tree claws to entangle the enemy, and then let Xiao Yuelon kill in all directions. Not long after, dozens of experts from various factions were chopped into pieces by Xiao Yuelon, and their souls were devoured by Qin Yun's heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. The heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron now possesses a very strong devouring power. Furthermore, it can suppress those undying and indestructible souls. It is much better than the soul creation heavenly cauldron and the pill transformation heavenly furnace. It's all right, let's go in and talk. Xiao Yuelon said to Humei. Humei lightly nodded her head and immediately brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon into the heavenly Fox Mountain Ranges barrier. She also just came out of the barrier and was attacked from all sides. This means that someone has been watching her movements. Chapter 2799. The latest chapter of the Nine Sun Divine King. I will update the latest chapter of the Nine Suns Divine King as soon as possible. Therefore, even if those strong races can break them, they will not try. If they want to take down this treasure land, they will have to pay a huge price. Therefore, even if those strong races can break it, they will not try. If they want to take down this treasure land, they will have to pay a huge price. Inside the heavenly Fox Mountain Ranges barrier, Humei also let out a long sigh of relief. Then she took out a pill and ate it. I'm fine. I'll be fine after resting for a few days. Humei ate the pill. Her charming face finally has some color. Humei is now sizing up Xiao Yuelon. She doesn't know Xiao Yuelon. She only feels that she is very beautiful and very powerful. Furthermore, the powerful aura on her body is very surprising. Xiao Yuelon's overbearing killing intent just now made Humei feel that she is a very callous female expert. Therefore, when facing Xiao Yuelon, this little fox is somewhat reserved. Are the injuries on your body really fine? After the killing intent on Xiao Yuelon's body dissipated, a faint smile appeared on her pretty face. In the blink of an eye, it is as if she has changed into a different person. No problem, just some internal injuries. I'll eat the pill and rest for a few days, and I'll be fine. Humei is startled and hastily said. Xiao Yuelon pulled Humei's hand and touched it to check her injuries. Moreover, she touched her charming and enchanting face. Little sister this is my wife. Qin Yin walked over and said with a smile, she's a very warm-hearted person. Don't be afraid of her. So she is Big Brother Yun's wife, the legendary Nine-Sun Divine Maiden? Humei is also startled. Xiao Yuelon said with charming smile, there is nothing special about Nine-Sun Divine Maiden. Humei heard about Qin Yun's wife. She only knows that she is Nine-Sun Divine Maiden. She doesn't know the specifics. Because the content of the magic mirror is controlled by an Wukong, even if there is any detailed information about Qin Yun's wife, it will be deleted, so it cannot be spread. Xiao Yuelon is the kind of person who is very familiar with people. She immediately started chatting with Humei and comforted her, telling her not to be afraid of those powers. Humei brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon to the bottom of a white jade mountain and entered a cave. The celestial Fox Mountains produced all kinds of flowers and divine fruits. She contacted many foxes and sent many divine fruits to greet Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. Sister Yuelon, thank you so much before. If you hadn't suddenly attacked and killed those guys, I might have already fallen into their hands. Humei said with a smile, and then poured a cup of fragrant and sweet fruit juice for Xiao Yuelon. Why are you being so polite? Little sister fox, you're also a partner of my Mystic Moon clan. We should help each other. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile, and drank the cup of juice in one gulp. She also ate the divine fruit in big mouthfuls, looking very bold and unrestrained. Hume never expected Qin Yun's wife to be such an easy person to communicate with. She could not help but have a good impression of Xiao Yuelon. Little Sister Fox, how many of those people are there in the heavenly Fox City? We came here for them, Qin Yun asked. They have almost taken control of Heaven Fox City. Our compatriots in Heaven Fox City were either killed by them or escaped with heavy injuries. Speaking of this matter, Humeir was very angry and clenched her jade fists. How much do you know about them? Xiao Yuelon said, Don't be angry. We will definitely take care of them. Humeir sighed and said, We have already contacted the Myriad Realms Divine Court. They said they would send people over, but when they came, they were all secretly injured. The Myriad Realms Divine Court and Divine Moon Clan will definitely help us, but their current situation is not good. So we decided to endure for a while and let Divine Moon Clan and Myriad Realms Divine Court develop first. The Myriad Realms Divine Court's territory was seized by the Heavenly Court, and the Divine Moon Clan's Myriad Heavens Divine Moon was also attacked. Humeir naturally knew about this matter. Qin Yun asked, The people in control of the Heavenly Fox City, where do they come from? The biggest metal and stone shop belongs to the Sun and Divine race. The Heavenly Court controls more than half of the shops in the Heavenly Fox City, and the other half is controlled by the law enforcement realm. That's about it, Humeir said very angrily. The Heavenly Fox City is a bustling big city. Not to mention that they control this city, they also want to attack our Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. Wait for me to finish eating these divine fruits. I will go out and take care of them. Xiao Yuelon groaned. These dogs are really arrogant. I will definitely teach them a lesson. Sister Yuelon, Brother Yun, it's better if you don't go. Our Heavenly Fox clan is still stable. Losing the Heavenly Fox City is not a big deal, as long as the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range is still here. Hume doesn't want Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon to take risks. It's not dangerous. Later, I will let the Fire Tribulation Mad Race contact you, and let them be responsible for protecting your Heavenly Fox City, Qin Yun said. Qin Yun packed a lot of divine fruits for Yang Yang and the others to eat. Yang Yang is very fond of the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range's divine fruits. She kept praising them. Qin Yun also told her about the situation of the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. After knowing about this, Yang Yang wished she could immediately kill her way out. Oh, that's right. Those guys found a treasure land nearby. The treasure land they are in is covered by a very large illusion formation. We can't see what they're doing from the sky. Humeir suddenly said, That treasure land is that mysterious stronghold. It is also Xiao Yuelon's target this time. Let's pacify the Heavenly Fox City first. Capture a few guys and interrogate them about that place. Xiao Yuelon looked at Qin Yun and said, Xiao Yun, call some helpers and secretly surround the Heavenly Fox City to block the reinforcements. Qin Yun immediately contacted Huixiang Kuang and told him about the situation here so that he can discuss with Yulun Hui how to take action. Then he contacted Grand Elder Ling and told him about the Heavenly Fox City. Grand Elder Ling is somewhat surprised because he didn't know about what happened in the Heavenly Fox City. This means that the Sun and Divine Race, Law Enforcement World, and Heavenly Court have suppressed this matter very well and did not cause any big commotion. Boss Qin, you can rob the Divine Universe Golden Stones of the Sun and Divine Race. I estimate that they have around 1 billion in their inventory. After the Golden Stone of the Sun and Divine Race is killed, our Ling family will take care of everything. Grand Elder Ling said. Okay, Qin Yun already had this idea. After he put away the magic mirror, he said, I have more or less arranged everything. We can take action tonight. First, we will capture those few leaders. Hume immediately took out the magic mirror and sent the images and specific situation of the few leaders to Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's magic mirror. Heavenly Court, Law Enforcement World, and Sun and Divine Race. How many Divine Universe Golden Stones have they obtained in this period of time? Xiao Yuelon looked at the information of those few people on the magic mirror and cursed. No matter how much they have obtained, I will make them spit it out. Qin Yun rubbed his fist. That's right. A few little foxes of our clan have discovered many creatures with strong devil aura in the city. Although they are in human form, they're not sure if they are humans or not. Humair suddenly thought of this matter and hastily said, "Those guys are very strong, and they are very close to the few leaders." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon looked at each other. They're even more certain that the mysterious stronghold is hiding something evil. Chapter 2800. A complete copy. I will update the latest chapter of the Nine Sons Divine King as soon as possible. There were a total of 4 leaders that Humair mentioned. They were not particularly strong, but there were quite a few of their people in the places they were at, so it was quite difficult to assassinate them. At night, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon quietly left the Heaven Fox mountain range and arrived at the nearby Heaven Fox city. During the day, a large group of people had died outside the Celestial Fox mountain range, but it had not attracted much attention yet. If this continued, it would definitely arouse more suspicion, and people would be sent to investigate. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had to take action as soon as possible. They had to take action before they discovered them and head for the mysterious stronghold. The head of the Sun Yin divine race, this guy's strength should not be weak. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to guard a bank. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile, "Xiao Yun, are you afraid?" Qin Yun unhappily said, "Yuelon, you have been with me for so long. Don't you understand me? You make me sound like a coward." Both of them had already changed in a black attire. As long as they put on the black masks, they would be able to start moving. However, the streets were still brightly lit, and they were often very lively at night. Let's go to the center of the city, to the city Lord's Villa. Because Xiao Yuelon is extremely strong, she has nothing to fear. In the end, Qin Yun's cultivation is relatively low, so in Xiao Yuelon's opinion, Qin Yun needs to be protected. Of course, Qin Yun tried his best not to take action. If he could avoid taking action, he could not be bothered to. With Xiao Yuelon fighting like that, it would be for the best if she could settle it. Qin Yun only did not fight head-on. He would make some small movements from his side. This was also very deadly. It allowed Xiao Yuelon to easily end the battle. There was originally a heavenly fox in the manner of the Heavenly Fox City's city lord, but it had been secretly chased away. The Celestial Fox clan didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so not many people knew about it. The current city lord of the City Lord Villa was from the Heavenly Court and was a subordinate of the Great Divine Lord. It was highly possible that he was also from the Sun Yin Divine tribe. The composition of the Heavenly Court was very complicated. A small number of them were from the Heaven-splitting Ancient clan, while the majority were from the law enforcement world, the Sun Moon Divine tribe, and the Tinji sect. There were a few clans in the Great Heaven God clan that had been invited by the Great Divine Lord to join the Heavenly Court. Humair didn't know much about the people in the City Lord's Villa, so they couldn't be sure what kind of people they were. They only knew that they weren't weak. On the way there, Qin Yun contacted First Elder Ling. The Ling family had a presence in every major city in the Divine Wilderness. Naturally, they had many spies. During the day, Great Elder Ling immediately contacted the Ling family of the Heaven Fox City to investigate after learning about the situation in the Heaven Fox City. Therefore, Qin Yun went to inquire. Not long after, he obtained a lot of information. That city lord is from the Heavenly Court, but he is from the Heaven Opening Ancient clan. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised and handed over the magic mirror to Xiao Yuelon. "Xiao Ancient clan?" Xiao Yuelon slightly frowned and said, "They have the same surname as me. I wonder how powerful the Xiao Ancient clan is." "You are the 9 Yang Divine Maiden, don't you know?" said Qin Yun with a smile. "Xiao is a big surname. The ancient Xiao clan is more or less related to me." Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, "There is also the ancient Qin clan and the heaven-splitting ancient clan. Have you tried to understand them?" Qin Yun shook his head and said, "Never tried to understand. They have nothing to do with me. If that city lord is from a Xiao ancient clan, it should be rather difficult to deal with. Xiao Yun, when the time comes, don't just watch from the side. Remember to secretly trick him so that I can quickly capture that guy," Xiao Yuelon warned. Not long after, They arrived outside the city lord villa. The barrier is quite strong. Can you go in? Xiao Yuelon can sense that the barrier is not weak from outside. After Qin Yun looked at it, he took out the Gemini treasure mirror and looked at the barrier. Xiao Yuelon doesn't know about the existence of Taisher, because Taisher warned Qin Yun repeatedly not to tell anyone else. Only Qin Yun can see the words that appeared on the Gemini treasure mirror. Xiao Yuelon knows that Qin Yun has many good things in his hands, so she didn't ask much. The barrier around the city lord villa is not very strong. There is no need to use the divine King Heavenly Seal. As long as Qin Yun holds the Gemini treasure mirror and infuses it with blood spirit power, he can release a hidden force and quietly open an entrance. Qin Yun grabbed Xiao Yuelon's hand and used invisibility technique to make the two of them invisible. Then he hastily entered through the entrance. After entering the city lord villa, the Gemini treasure mirror gave Qin Yun a hint, telling him where the heaven-opening ancient race people are. Taisher is very sensitive to heaven-opening ancient race people, so he can sense them very clearly. There are actually several heaven-opening ancient race people inside the villa. The strongest among them is located inside a small mountain in the villa. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon stealthily moved inside the villa and headed towards that small mountain. There are not many people inside the villa. Although there is a very bright multicolored light, it is unable to illuminate the invisible Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. After approaching the small mountain, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon slightly frowned because they sensed a wave of evil devil power from the small mountain. That guy should be cultivating inside. Qin Yun secretly transmitted his voice to Xiao Yuelon. It seems like they can absorb this kind of power to cultivate and become stronger. Xiao Yun, can we quietly go in? Xiao Yuelon asked. Yes. This is not difficult for Qin Yun because there is no barrier around the small mountain. Otherwise, it would not leak out evil devil aura. Qin Yun brought Xiao Yuelon close to the small mountain and directly used mysterious penetration divine ability to smoothly rush in. As soon as they entered, they sensed a strong, evil devil power. Qin Yun is certain that this is the power of heavenly devil divine sun and heavenly evil divine Sunday. He is very familiar with this kind of power. The inside is pitch black. The evil devil power has turned into a thick fog. It is very dense. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and saw one black and one red pearl floating above the belly of the small mountain, releasing a strong, evil devil power. The black pearl is a bit bigger, so the black gas is even denser, enveloping the red aura. And in the middle of the mountain, there's a person sitting cross-legged on the ground, crazily absorbing the two evil devil power. As soon as Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon came in, that person discovered them. Who is it? That person suddenly opened his eyes. Two red lights shot out from his eyes and looked at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's location. They're still invisible, so that person can't see them, but he can sense that someone just came in. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's entrance indeed caused the aura inside to fluctuate. As long as one's perception is not weak, they would be able to sense it. Xiao Yuelon immediately attacked. In an instant, she flashed behind that person and chopped down with her saber. That person is a middle-aged man. His reaction is very fast. He, who is sitting cross-legged on the ground, suddenly moved to the left, avoiding Xiao Yuelon's dozens of saber energy slashes. 9 Sun Divine Maiden. After that middle-aged man cried out in alarm, golden armor and energy barrier suddenly appeared on his body, protecting him. Chapter 28:01. Qin Yun thought that Xiao Yuelon would be able to take him down with one slash. Who knew that the middle-aged man would be so strong? As expected of the heaven-opening ancient clan, it seems like this Xiao ancient clan is quite strong. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed that not only can this middle-aged man dodge Xiao Yuelon's saber, he can also see that Xiao Yuelon is the 9 Sun Divine Maiden. While Qin Yun is alarmed, Xiao Yuelon has already attacked dozens of times, causing the middle-aged man to constantly dodge. Xiao, the middle-aged man from the ancient clan, is unable to fight back because Xiao Yuelan's attack is too fierce. He can only concentrate on defense. Otherwise, his armor and energy barrier would be broken. Qin Yun immediately joined in, directly releasing his strongest supergravity and pressing down on the middle-aged man's body. His sudden suppression caught the middle-aged man off guard. He was pressed down until his knees bent, and he almost knelt on the ground. Qin Yun's cultivation is, after all, too low. Even if he released a very strong supergravity, he would not be able to force the other party to kneel on the ground. Xiao Yuelan seized the opportunity to attack. Using some unknown technique, the saber in her hand suddenly flashed with golden light and hacked at the middle-aged man's head dozens of times. That this kind of golden light's penetrating power is very strong. Often, Qin Yun feels as if his soul is being pricked by a needle. It's a mental power attack. It's really strong. Qin Yun is alarmed. That kind of strong light can penetrate the armor and directly attack the soul of the Xiao ancient clan's middle-aged man. Xiao Yuelan had a mental martial spirit from the very beginning. Her mental power has always been extremely terrifying. The middle-aged man's soul trembled in pain from the beating. He constantly screamed and is no longer able to fight. After all, she is the nine-sun divine maiden, and she is cultivated in the myriad realms' divine sunland. How could her strength be weak? Qin Yun had already used the inscription Great Formation to seal the inside of the small mountain so that there wouldn't be too strong of a movement. How do we capture this guy? Xiao Yuelan asked. She can beat the other party's soul into a daze, but she doesn't know how to seal and trap the other party. Leave it to me. Qin Yun took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal and pried open the middle-aged man's armor. He imprinted it on his body and then threw it into the heavenly lion-dragon suppressing cauldron. All right, let's continue to the next one. Qin Yun smiled and said, Yuelan, with your current strength, can you take down the great Divine King? I've never tried it, so I don't know. The great Divine King has a very strong heavenly universe divine sun heart, and his Divine King Heavenly Seal is unfathomable. Xiao Yuelan shook her head. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan wandered around the city lord villa for a while and captured a few other Xiao ancient clan members. Then, they went to find the leader of the law enforcement world. Deacon, the head of the law realm, was resting in a manor. Xiao, after Yuelan entered, she didn't even use her weapon. She directly greeted him with her fists and palms, causing him to scream miserably. His body and soul were both injured. Xiao, although Yuelan is unable to kill those undying and indestructible souls, her mental power attack can cause those souls to fall into a temporary coma. Qin, just like before, Yin used the God King Heavenly Seal to seal them, preventing their souls from leaving their bodies. Furthermore, their divine powers were sealed and they were thrown into the heavenly lion-dragon suppression cauldron. Only in less than 2 hours, there was only one person left in charge of the city, and he was in the Metalstone division of the Sun Moon Divine Tribe. If Qin Yun wanted to rob the Metalstone division, it might cause a big commotion, so he wanted to act last. The Metalstone division of the Sun Moon Divine Tribe was in many big cities. If this one was robbed, the people of the Heavenly Fox City could go to the Metalstone division of the Sun Moon Divine Tribe in other cities and take out the Divine Universe Golden Stones. Gold, if the Metalstone division was robbed, it would be a big matter. After all, many people wanted to do this kind of thing, but they didn't dare to. Those who could open a Metalstone division all had a powerful force behind them. The other outside, the defense of the Metalstone division is very strong. There are not many people who have the ability to break through the defense, and they would not do such a thing. Breaking through the defense is one thing. Being able to successfully take away so many Divine Universe Golden Stones is another thing. Because there are many Divine Universe Golden Stones, not everyone has a storage magic tool that can store so many Divine Universe Golden Stones. Overall, in many people's opinion, robbing the Divine Universe Golden Stones is not worth it, and the risk is extremely high. Qin Yun has already grasped the specific situation of the Heavenly Fox City's Sun Moon Metalstone division. This was given to him by great elder Ling. Qin Yun looked at the blueprint on the magic mirror and said, "It's underground. It's easy." Qin Yun immediately brought Xiao Yuelon and drilled into the ground, then headed towards the basement. No, not long after, Qin Yun encountered a wall. He can see through it with his heavenly eye. It is extremely thick. This wall has several layers, and each layer has all kinds of powerful runes forming an array. Qin after Yun and Tai Shi communicated for a while. Tai Shi said that they can break through, but the commotion will not be small. Yuelon, there will be quite a commotion later. After we go in, help me buy time. I will empty the divine universe golden stones in the basement. Qin Yun transmitted his voice to Xiao Yuelon. No problem, leave it to me. As long as it's not someone at the level of the great divine king and the heavenly dragon emperor, I can block them no matter how many come. Xiao Yuelon said very confidently. Qin Yun took out the divine king heavenly seal and hid behind the Gemini treasure mirror. Double the surface of the Gemini treasure mirror immediately shot out a strong light and hit the thick wall. Xiao Yun, how did your divine king heavenly seal become pitch black? Xiao Yuelon asked curiously. I dyed it black, it's nothing. Qin Yun said casually. At this moment, the Gemini treasure mirror shot out a strong light and tore a hole in the wall. The ground also shook greatly. Earth array formations and barriers in the warehouse have been triggered, so the commotion is very big. Qin Yun immediately brought Xiao Yuelon in. Just as they entered, a few powerful auras rushed over. Xiao Yuelon slashed with her saber, sending the few elders who rushed in from the door flying and crashing into the wall. The basement is extremely large, and there are many divine universe golden stones piled up. Yin estimated that there are at least 2 billion. He immediately rushed to the side of a large pile of divine universe golden stones and took a deep breath. He urged the 9-Sun divine spirit to release a spatial bubble that enveloped the pile of divine universe golden stones. At this moment, a few elders roared in anger and charged at Qin Yun. Xiao Yuelan's figure flashed and arrived not far from Qin Yun. She ruthlessly swept out with her saber a few times. The divine power that carried a biting, cold-killing intent is tyrannical and berserk. When it landed on the old man's body, it produced an extremely strong explosion. The bodies of those old men were nearly torn apart. Although their bodies were still intact, they had suffered serious internal injuries. Qin Yun had already taken away a pile of divine universe goldstones. There were still a few piles here. Someone was robbing the goldstone bank. As the bank manager, he had to rush over. Okay, the leader had already appeared. He was a tall and thin old man. As soon as he entered, he knew that Xiao Yuelon, who was wearing a mask, was very strong. You too, with your strength, why would you do such a thing? You have robbed the metal stone shop of the Sun divine tribe. The consequences are severe, and your future will be ruined. The bank manager said in a deep voice. Surrender. Qin Yun didn't listen to his nonsense and continued collecting the divine universe goldstones. Xiao Yuelon is always by Qin Yun's side, paying attention to the movements of the elders. Take as much as you want. If you can walk out of here alive, it's my loss. The bank manager sneered and said confidently. Chapter 28:02. After saying that confidently, the president gestured to the people around him to not make a move. At that moment, the experts of the Lunar Metal Stone Department arrived one after another and surrounded the entrance. They did not see the entrance through which Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon came in, because that entrance was a spatial crack. After being torn open, it quickly recovered. They all thought that the 2 robbers had come in through the main entrance. When Xiao Yuelon saw that they did not make a move, she was too lazy to do so. She stayed by Qin Yun's side to protect him. In this spacious basement, the divine universe metal stones were piled up like a small hill. It was not easy to take them away. After all, it would take up a lot of space. Divine universe gold stones were extremely heavy. The space within an ordinary storage divine artifact would find it hard to withstand it. When the group of people outside the gate saw Qin Yun collect the piles of divine universe goldstones one after another, they were extremely alarmed. So what if you can take away the divine universe golden rock? Do you think you can run? You'd better hand over that storage artifact along with it. Otherwise, you guys will suffer. The bank manager also wanted this kind of storage artifact very much. When they used large amounts of divine universe gold stones, they would need many storage artifacts. Moreover, every time he took in the divine universe gold stones, he did it bit by bit. How could it be like Qin Yun, who took away a large pile in one go? This meant that the storage divine artifact's internal space was very strong. It could hold such a large mass of items. Qin Yun's 9-yang divine spirit could even contain a divine sun, so placing it inside the divine universe goldstone was not a problem. Xiao Yuelon coldly looked at the group of people outside the door. She was thinking about how to make a move later. The bank president was her main target, but she also wanted to get rid of the other guys. Before long, all the divine universe goldstones in the basement were taken away by Qin Yun. The president was the last leader to be captured. Only after he was dead would the Heaven Fox City be able to settle down. Are you done? Xiao Yuelon transmitted her voice to Qin Yun. Qin Yun nodded and said, "All right, we can make our move now. Capture the president." Although Xiao Yuelon is wearing a mask, one can tell that she is a woman. The mask did not cover her eyes, and one can see that she has a pair of very beautiful eyes. The saber in Xiao Yuelon's hand suddenly howled with killing intent, releasing a black and cold aura in all directions. With a whoosh, Xiao Yuelon disappeared. By the time she reappeared, she was already in front of the bank president and slashing down with her saber. Qin Yun was alarmed as he rushed over. The bank manager's strength is not weak. He quickly took out a stone tablet and blocked in front of him, catching Xiao Yuelon's murderous saber slash. It had to be said that Xiao Yuelon's saber strike was extremely powerful. That stone tablet was a divine tool with strong defensive power, but it was still split apart by the saber strike. The entire underground vault also trembled because of this saber strike. At the same time, everyone beside the president immediately attacked Xiao Yuelon in a flurry. Xiao Yuelon had already released a Sun Heavenly Shield to protect her body. Her Sun Heavenly Shield appeared and emitted an extremely strong 10,000 realms divine sun power. Everyone present was very familiar with this divine power. They were all secretly shocked. How could this woman control such a strong 10,000 realms divine sun power? Qin Yun was originally worried that Xiao Yuelon would be besieged. Seeing that she used the Sun Heavenly Shield to defend and block all the attacks, he felt a lot more at ease. Yuelon's Sun Heavenly Shield seems to be a bit stronger than mine. Could it be because she stayed in the core for a long time? Qin Yun has already arrived beside Xiao Yuelon. He released super gravity, and immediately a large number of people screamed from the pressure. Other than the bank manager and a few elders, the other dozens of experts were pressed to their knees or sat on the ground. There were even a few who were pressed to the ground. Qin Yun immediately used the Heaven Extinguishing 9 Fingers, Heaven Explosion Finger, and crazily pointed at the heads of those people on the ground. Bang, bang, bang. He could instantly point several fingers. After he made his move, a few people's heads exploded, exploding with intense light and flames. After Qin Yun exploded more than 10 people's heads, the others were immediately frightened to the point of frantically struggling. Qin Yun's supergravity only exploded in an instant. When others reacted, especially when there were dozens of people, they would be able to destroy the supergravity. Under the intense desire to survive, those 30 or so people broke through Qin Yun's supergravity. However, a large number of tree vines and roots suddenly appeared under their feet. Those tree vines and roots flickered with golden light, like golden dragon claws. They wrapped around those people. There were a few elders who were not affected by the supergravity, but they were also caught by the dragon transformation tree claws. Without the entanglement of these small fries, Xiao Yuelon can now focus on fighting the bank manager. She brandished her saber and attacked ferociously. In a few short moments, she hacked out more than 1,000 saber attacks and smashed the stone steel with strong defense. Qin Yun used Heaven Explosion Finger with both hands and crazily pointed at those struggling people. He either exploded their heads or penetrated their bodies and smashed their bodies. Qin Yun's Heaven Explosion Finger is fused with Thunder Totem, so it can erupt with very strong power. In addition, he is using Imperial Heaven Divine Power, combined with Imperial Heaven Tao Image. He can release very strong, penetrating power. He can penetrate layers of armor and energy shields and enter the enemy's body. Qin Yun took out the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and floated in the air. The cauldron's mouth faced the ground and crazily devoured those flying souls. In just a short while, those dozens of metal and stone guard from the Sun E divine race were all killed by Qin Yun, and their souls were taken away. Only the bank manager is left. Didn't you say that we can't escape? Qin Yun said with a smile. Not only can we escape, we can also capture you. The bank manager's arms have already been chopped off by Xiao Yuelon. His head is bleeding and his body is badly mutilated. Xiao Yuelon stepped on the bank manager but did not kill him. After Qin Yun arrived, he saw that the bank manager's soul is preparing to leave his body. Xiao Yuelon's eyes flashed. Two red light shot out from her eyes and hit the bank manager's head. The bank manager's body twitched and then let out a miserable scream. Qin Yun took out the divine King Heavenly Seal. You are Qin Yun. The bank manager can see that Qin Yun is holding the divine King Heavenly Seal. Qin Yun's seal landed on the bank manager's forehead and said, "Don't be afraid. I won't kill you for now. I will let you live for a while longer." The bank manager wanted to speak, but Xiao Yuelon stepped on his mouth. Qin Yun stored the bank manager into the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron, allowed a long sigh, and said with a smile, "It went quite smoothly." He immediately contacted Hua Xiangquang and asked him to look after the city entrance, arrange for him to take over the city's security, and also eliminate the people of other factions. Soon after, he contacted Great Elder Ling and told him that those few leaders have already been captured. "Boss Qin, this time you fished up a lot. If you store these Divine Universe Golden Stones in our Golden Stone shop, I will give you good interest." Great Elder Ling said with mischievous smile, "If you lack Divine Universe Golden Stones, just tell me. I will help you find out which Golden Stone shop is easy to rob." Chapter 28:03. As for how many Divine Universe Gold Stones Qin Yun had snatched just now, he still couldn't be sure. He didn't need that many now, but if he could still earn interest by leaving them, that would indeed be pretty good. It won't be easy to rob Golden Stone shops, especially after this incident. Other Golden Stone shops will surely be alerted. Qin Yun said, "Don't worry. I guarantee that no one will know that this Goldstone shop has been robbed. Our Ling family will take care of this matter." Grand Elder Ling's laughter was sinister. Currently, the metal and stone shops are opened by the Great Sky Divine Tribe, the Sun E Divine Tribe, the Law Enforcers, and the Ling family. Qin Yun understood what Grand Elder Ling meant. In other words, other than the Ling family, all the other powers in the gold and stone business were his enemies. The Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan will also intervene in the future. They have already started preparing. Grand Elder Ling continued, "If you are really short of gold, it would be a good idea to rob one or two small goldstone shops from them." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Old Ling, you are using me to suppress your competitor. How could that be? I'm just helping you gather Divine Universe Golden Stones. What's more, the enemy's Divine Universe Golden Stones is not called stealing. It's called taking." Great Elder Ling is very shocked when he found out that Qin Yun robbed the Heavenly Fox City's Golden Stone shop. Even if it was a small-scale metal and stone, its defense was still very strong. It was extremely difficult to charge in and rob everything, unless one had the strength of the Great Divine Lord and the Heavenly Dragon Emperor. And someone with such peak strength did not need to use such a method to obtain the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Xiao Yuelon is also contacting Humei. She told her about the matters here and told her to prepare to take over the Heavenly Fox City. Qin Yun originally did not plan to go to the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range, but Humei said that she prepared many divine fruits to give to them. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun towards the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. Humayur is very grateful to Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. She prepared many divine fruits and some divine fruit trees. This made Yang Yang and the others so happy that they couldn't stop eating. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon left the heavenly Fox Mountain range and headed for the mysterious stronghold. As they approached the mysterious base, they could all sense the fluctuations of a powerful barrier in front of them. After arriving here, they did not continue forward. Instead, they landed in the forest below. Qin Yun released the 9-sun heaven-raising pagoda and entered with Xiao Yuelon. Capture those guys first and ask them about the situation. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Release those guys from the Xiao ancient clan. Qin Yun took out the shrunken heavenly lion dragon suppression cauldron and grabbed the middle-aged man from the Xiao clan. The middle-aged man's divine power was sealed by the God King's heavenly seal, and his soul was unable to leave his body. Therefore, he, whose strength surpassed Shen Tianjun, was caught by Qin Yun like a rabbit. After the middle-aged man came out, his face was filled with fear. After all, he didn't have the strength to fight back, and his soul couldn't escape. Once he was tortured, it would be extremely painful. Divine Lady of 9 Sons, you are courting death by doing this. The middle-aged man looked at Xiao Yuelon and pretended to be very domineering as he shouted, "You better let me go. Otherwise, if you delay the 9 Yang Dharma Spirit's great plan, the consequences will be very serious." Xiao Yuelon's expression turned cold. The saber in her hand slapped the middle-aged man's face and shouted coldly, 9 Yang Dharma Spirit's great plan? What are you farting about? You. When the 9 Yang Dharma Spirit truly awakens, you will definitely die. The middle-aged man is very angry. He came from a Xiao ancient clan. His strength surpassed Shen Tianjun. Although he is not at the peak, he is still in the 2nd or 3rd tier. Now, he has been captured alive and beaten up. Xiao Yuelon raised her leg and kicked several times in succession. Each kick produced a very strong mental power wave, causing the middle-aged man to scream miserably. Are you still being stubborn? Although Xiao Yuelon is a woman, her attacks are very ruthless. I was wrong. This middle-aged man is of noble birth. Normally, he holds a high position and is respected by many people. When has he ever suffered this kind of abuse? Is that so? You know you're wrong? It doesn't look like you're admitting your mistake. After Xiao Yuelon finished speaking, she once again rained down blows on the middle-aged man's face, beating him until he is beyond recognition. And the most painful thing is still the pain of the soul. Qin Yun sat at the side, crossing his legs and eating the divine fruit. He is very calmly watching. Bastard, do you want to die or not? Xiao Yuelon said coldly. Goddess, spare me, I don't want to die. My soul is undying and indestructible. Even if I want to die, I won't die. The middle-aged man is much more obedient. His tone has become very weak. Xiao Yuelon looked at Qin Yun and asked, Xiao Yun, do you have a way to deal with those undying and indestructible souls? How did you torture the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan's 7th elder? Only now did the Xiao Ancient Clan's middle-aged man realize that the man leisurely eating divine fruit is actually the young divine King Qin Yun. The fact that the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan's 7th elder is still in Qin Yun's hands has shaken the entire heaven-splitting Ancient Clan. Because the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan is one of the more powerful ancient clans within the heaven-splitting Ancient Clan. However, the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan's emperor is like a dog in front of Qin Yun and was even forced to give a Divine Moon Clan 100 billion Divine Universe Golden Stones. Before these 100 billion Divine Universe Golden Stones are settled, the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan's 7th elder cannot return. Friend, did you not see the 7th elder inside the cauldron? Xiao Yuelon asked again. There are several spaces inside the cauldron. The 7th elder is not with them. Qin Yun laughed mischievously, then stood up and walked to the middle-aged man's side and asked, Brother, how should I address you? What's your name? Xiao Daqing. The middle-aged man looked at the smile on Qin Yun's face and couldn't help but shiver. You have a mysterious stronghold, right? What the hell are you doing inside? Qin Yun said, then took out 2 pearls and placed them on the ground. These 2 pearls release evil devil aura. Xiao Daqing was cultivating inside the mountain before and was absorbing the evil devil power from these 2 pearls. Xiao Daqing mumbled and did not answer immediately. Clearly, he doesn't want to say. Xiao Yuelon coldly snorted and said, "Are you itching for a beating again?" I can't say." Xiao Daqing cried and shouted, "Big brother, big sister, please let me go. I really can't say, otherwise I will be very miserable." With one look, it is clear that Xiao Daqing has signed a soul contract with someone else. If he leaks the secret, his undying and indestructible soul will be constantly tortured. Is there a soul contract? Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror and asked. If it was before, he would need to put someone else's soul into the spirit creation heavenly cauldron to erase the soul contract imprint. Now that he has the Gemini treasure mirror, he doesn't need to use the spirit creation heavenly cauldron anymore. Xiao Daqing nodded his head. If not for the soul contract, he would have already said everything and wouldn't have been beaten. "I can help you settle it," Qin Yun said, then poured divine power into the Gemini treasure mirror. Then he took out the divine king heavenly seal and imprinted it on Xiao Daqing's forehead. Xiao Daqing also sensed that the soul contract imprint is gone. He can't help but be shocked because Qin Yun easily settled it. This is unbelievable. Please remember this book's domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor mobile version website. Chapter 2804. Even Xiao Yuelon did not expect Qin Yun to finish it so quickly. She knows that Qin Yun has a way and also knows that he has to use the spirit creation heavenly cauldron. However, Qin Yun doesn't need it now. Xiao Yuelon looked at Xiao Daqing and shouted, "You can speak now." Xiao Daqing did not speak immediately. Instead, he said in low voice, "If I speak, will you let me go? If you have great use for us, we will naturally not kill you. You have to prove that you have value." Xiao Yuelon said. Although Xiao Yuelon doesn't mind killing Xiao Daqing, if it is really useful, she is too lazy to do it. In any case, she has already killed many people's bodies in the Heavenly Fox City. Even if she is the 9-son divine maiden, she can't destroy those souls. "I have great use." Xiao Daqing glanced at Qin Yun. In comparison, he is not that afraid of Xiao Yuelon who beat him up. He is even more afraid of the smiling Qin Yun. If Qin Yun can easily erase the contract spirit power in the soul, then he might be able to destroy the soul. Therefore, Xiao Daqing is still very afraid of Qin Yun in his heart. He only hopes that he can curry favor with Qin Yun and avoid being killed. "Quickly tell us about that stronghold," Xiao Yuelon said. "It doesn't matter if you don't speak. We have also captured many leaders, law enforcement world, and Sun E divine race people. They are all in my hands." "I know. I saw them inside the cauldron." Xiao Daqing naturally knows about this matter. He hastily said, "I know more about that stronghold than them. You can ask me. You can kill them now. Don't waste too much time on them." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon secretly despised this guy. He actually sold out his teammates, just like that. Next, Xiao Daqing's saliva flew everywhere. He talked about the stronghold in one breath. He talked about a lot of things. That mysterious stronghold is not a treasure land. There's an underground palace built deep underground and protected by all kinds of barriers. There are many vaults in the underground palace. There are many fragments of heavenly devil divine sun and heavenly evil divine sun, as well as other things. For example, beasts cultivated through heavenly devil divine sun and heavenly evil divine sun, evil devil zombie evil spirit, and so on. Those evil demon zombies were extremely terrifying. Once a normal person was bitten, if they did not have enough strength, their body would be invaded by evil demons and become evil demons. After becoming an evil demon zombie, it would only think about biting people to carry out a large-scale spread. Currently, many of these evil demons and zombies had been released, and their main targets were the weaker cities. Hearing this, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon flew into a rage. The couple beat up Xiao Daqing again. Xiao Daqing was miserable and could only continue talking about the stronghold. How many people turned into evil spirit zombies? Xiao Yuelon asked. This, I'm not too sure. After turning into an evil demon zombie, their souls will be injected with consciousness and then gathered under the zombie demon palace. It started to gather now, Xiao Daqing said in a low voice. Big brother, big sister, don't hit me. This has nothing to do with me. Qin Yun said with a cold snort. Then what's with these 2 pearls? These 2 pearls are energy-storing pearls. They were placed in the zombie demon palace and absorbed the power of the heavenly devil sun and the heavenly evil Sunday. That's why they became like this. They're pretty good for cultivation. Xiao Daqing doesn't know much about the underground devil palace. He only knows that it's a stronghold. At this moment, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are certain that there are indeed a few factions joining hands to completely transform the 9-Sun Law Spirit. You said before that I would definitely die, and it's related to the 9-Sun Law Spirit. Why did you say that? Xiao Yuelon asked again. Because this is the meaning of the 9-Sun Law Spirit. It's the 9-Sun Law Spirit that guided the great divine king and the others to do this. Xiao Daqing said, the 9-Sun Law Spirit said that only by doing this can it become stronger. Is this true? Qin Yun doesn't dare to believe it. It's absolutely true. Otherwise, how could we have gone so smoothly? Xiao Daqing said, the 9-Sun Law Spirit also said that as long as we wait for the next manifestation realm, it will no longer need the 9-Sun Divine Maiden. The 9-Sun Divine Maiden can either die or be given to someone else. Qin Yun's expression immediately changed. Xiao Yuelon immediately grabbed his hand, worried that he would fly into a rage. Where did you hear this? Xiao Yuelon asked. Our clan emperor said it. Our Xiao ancient clan's clan emperor can communicate with the 9-Sun Law Spirit. Xiao Daqing said. What the clan emperor said is definitely true. Furthermore, our ancient Xiao clan will be able to enter the 6th divine sun and obtain a very large territory. Xiao Yuelon said, Xiao Yun, lock this guy up. You can do whatever you want with him. Xiao Daqing immediately shouted for mercy and was stuffed into the heavenly lion-dragon suppressing cauldron by Qin Yun. Yuelon, the 9-Sun Law Spirit situation is not good, Qin Yun said with a frown. I'm really worried about you guys. Looks like the 9-Sun Law Spirit has already split into 2. The 9-Sun Evil Spirit is guiding those guys to do evil things. Xiao Yuelon's face is also filled with worry. Let's destroy that underground palace first. Qin Yun absolutely cannot allow that zombie devil palace to continue developing. Xiao Yuelon shook her head, took out the magic mirror, and said, I'll contact Sister Shang Yun. Yes, we need help. Qin Yun also took out the magic mirror and contacted the divine judge. He informed him of this matter and asked him to gather the alliance of the myriad realms' divine court. Then, Qin Yun contacted Hua Xiangquang and asked him to select 3,000 elites from the Fire Tribulation Mad Race and gather them in the heavenly Fox City. When the divine judge learned of this matter, he became very angry. Recently, he's been investigating the matter of those evil devil zombies. However, he never expected that the heavenly court was behind this. The great divine king is also involved, as well as a portion of the heaven-opening ancient clan, Great Ein Divine Race, as well as the law enforcement world. These are all powerful factions, and these powerful factions usually shout that they want to maintain the order of the Divine Desolate, but now they are destroying the order of the Divine Desolate. Qin Yun did not tell the divine judge the cruel truth. That is, this matter is related to the 9-Sun Law Spirit. Whether or not the 9-Sun Law Spirit split into a 9-Sun Evil Spirit, Xiao Yuelon is only guessing. She is still not completely sure. Qin Yun told the divine judge to rush to the heavenly Fox City and then think of a way to help him obtain formidable power. The divine judge relied on the heaven's divine punishment flag to intimidate everyone. However, the power of the heaven's divine punishment flag has been taken back. This is most likely done by the 9-Sun Evil Spirit. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are still near the stronghold. They took out a teleportation pearl and made a teleportation point before returning to the heavenly Fox City. After arriving at the heavenly Fox City, Qin Yun learned that Great Elder Ling has also come. He said that he has a very important matter to discuss with Qin Yun. And Qin Yun also plans to tell Great Elder Ling about the Zombie Devil Palace. Chapter 28:05. Great Elder Ling's Ling family did not participate in the Zombie Demon Palace matter, so Qin Yun wanted to see what the Ling family would do after Great Elder Ling knew about this matter. Once the zombie army created by the Zombie Demon Palace was released, it would be extremely dangerous. Smaller cities would not be able to withstand it. If they devoured small cities, then they would go to medium-sized cities. Once they developed to a certain scale, they would go to big cities. If this continued, most of the cities in God Desolate would fall. In God Desolate, those small cities were the most numerous, and they became the targets of the evil demons and zombies. The Nine Sons' evil spirit instigated the great divine Lord to do such a thing. It meant that the Nine Sons' evil spirit wanted to turn God Desolate into a hellish world. Great Elder Ling arrived at the Heavenly Fox City's Ling clan metalstone shop. Qin Yun was already waiting there. As for Xiao Yuan, she went to the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range to look for Humei. She wanted to discuss with Humei the matter of resisting the Zombie Devil Palace. At that time, many factions would gather here, and the vicinity of the Heaven Fox Mountain Range would definitely be very lively. The Ling Clan Goldstone shop was not too big. It was only 30 stories tall. It was a square building located in a villa. And under this villa, there was a very large basement used to store the Divine Universe Goldstone. Heaven Fox City was considered a large city. After all, there was the Heaven Fox Mountain Range beside it. The Heaven Fox Mountain Range was rich in divine fruits and divine medicines, so it attracted many large and small families and sects to purchase them. Qin Yun followed Great Elder Ling to the basement of the Goldstone shop and took out the Divine Universe Goldstone he had snatched. After an inventory, there were 5 billion Divine Universe Goldstones, all of which were stored here. Ling Qinxiong had previously lent him 500 million. After he returned it, he still had 2 billion. Put these 2 billion in our Goldstone shop, and you'll get 20 million interest every month. How about it? Great Elder Ling said with a smile. All right. Qin Yun felt that it was not bad. He didn't have to do anything, and he would get 20 million every month. The 100 billion given by the Heavenly Moon Ancient Clan was the Divine Moon Clan's property. They might need to use it to create a Divine Moon in the future, so Qin Yun would not use it. Great Elder Ling had told Qin Yun before that the Heavenly Moon Clan's emperor had contacted him and said that he would hand over the 100 billion Divine Universe Goldstone to the Ling family in 2 or 3 days. After Qin Yun deposited the Divine Universe Golden Rock, he followed Great Elder Ling to the hall on the top floor. There were only the two of them here. Grand Elder Ling said that he had something important to discuss with Qin Yun, so he came over personally. Boss Qin, do you still remember what I told you about the Nine Sons Sacred Ground? Great Elder Ling asked. Of course I remember. Why? Qin Yun did not expect First Elder Ling to talk to him about this matter. Grand Elder Ling said in a low voice, there used to be a huge nether sun in the middle of the Nine Sons Sacred Ground. Now, it has turned into a passageway. It looks like a huge black whirlpool. It is hundreds of miles wide and extremely huge. The huge pit that was hundreds of miles wide was not very big compared to the sealed region in the center of the Divine Wilderness. However, this was indeed a very large passage that connected to another universe. Have you investigated the situation inside? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. Yes, some of our Ling family's experts went in and came out. How should I put it? It's like a new world inside. The scenery is pretty good, but there are many super powerful creatures inside, mainly beasts. Great Elder Ling said, most of the beasts. Are there creatures that look like humans? Qin Yun is somewhat astonished. He never expected that the Ling family would have such experts. They even dared to enter the Nine Sons Sacred Ground, and even came out smoothly. Yes, they look like humans, but we don't understand the language they speak. They're all very strong. We suspect that they have already grasped a new realm and are ahead of us by a lot. Great Elder Ling said, took out the magic mirror and sent some information to Qin Yun. Qin Yun looked at the image that appeared in the magic mirror. It was a beautiful scene that made people want to see it with their own eyes. This is what the Nine Suns sacred ground looks like now. Great Elderling said. Qin Yun continued to watch. The angle of the image gradually pulled up and turned into a bird's eye view. The mountain forest below became smaller and smaller. The person who recorded the image kept rising higher and higher. Finally, he could no longer see the dark green mountain forest below. He could only see a lush green area, and then a black whirlpool suddenly appeared. That black whirlpool is the passageway. Great Elderling said, "Look, isn't it very big? Even the large mountain forest beside, it is not as big as this passageway." Qin Yun nodded with a frown and said, "It is indeed very big." Soon after, Qin Yun saw the image of a few beasts. Those beasts have different sizes, but they are all looking from far away. The Ling family expert did not approach. If they attack from that side, in order to occupy the entire divine desolate, even our Ling family will become their target of annihilation. Great Elderling suddenly said in a serious tone, "Are they really very strong?" Qin Yun put away the magic mirror and asked, "Those beasts are very strong." That expert from our Ling family was pounced on by a very small beast and was seriously injured. Fortunately, he had a lot of pills on him, so he was able to run back. His body was almost torn apart. Great Elderling's face is filled with fear as he said, "In the divine desolate, experts who have surpassed Shintianjun will most likely end up like this when facing those beasts." Qin Yun doesn't dare to believe it. A small beast can instantly injure an expert who has surpassed Shun Tianjun, and it's even from the Ling family. Then Great Elderling, "What do you want to talk to me about?" Qin Yun took a deep breath and asked, "Boss Qin, you are a divine king, and you are much more reliable than the great divine king. Our Ling family hopes that when the time comes, we will be able to obtain your protection and allow us to enter the four divine sons." Great Elderling said with a pleading expression, "Enter the four divine sons?" There are also quite a few other divine sons. The sixth divine son that just appeared is very strong, and it was given to the great divine king and the others. Why do we have to enter the four divine sons? Qin Yun felt that it is somewhat strange. Great Elderling sighed and said, "Our clan emperor said that only the four divine sons are reliable, the others are not. Don't look at how big the sixth divine son is. If that fellow from the universe attacks, he will first take down the biggest divine son. Your Ling family is already making preparations? Is the situation already that serious?" Qin Yun thought that the crisis of the Nine-Sun Holy Land would only erupt after a period of time. The Nine-Sun Holy Land will explode at any time. Great Elderling said, "Boss Qin, you are extremely powerful. Other than the four divine sons, is there any other place to take refuge?" "What? Even the four divine sons can't hold on?" Qin Yun is greatly shocked. Just in case, those heaven-opening ancient race are all hiding in the depths of the universe. Furthermore, they have opened up a space. It is very difficult to find their space, so they can hide very well. Great Elderling's face is filled with worry. He wants to find a way out. Please remember this book's domain name, Nine Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 2806. Even though Qin Yun had not personally witnessed how powerful the beings from the Nine Sun Sacred Ground were, he could not help but feel worried. We'll talk about this later. If even the fourth divine sun can't withstand it, then I really can't find a good place to go. Qin Yun said, "I can let your Ling family enter the four divine sun realm, but you need your clan emperor and all the elders of your Ling family to sign a soul contract." Great Elder Ling understood Qin Yun's meaning. After all, their Ling family belongs to the great heaven god race. Furthermore, their Ling family's patriarch is the great heaven god race's clan emperor and also the great divine lord's disciple. As long as they signed a contract promising that they would not cause trouble within the four divine sons, Qin Yun would allow them to enter. No problem. However, we should consider opening up a space as a last resort. If the fourth divine sun is really finished, then we have a place to hide. Great Elderling said, "You could talk to the Grand Inquisitor. He has resources in this area. He'll be here soon." Qin also felt the need to open up a space. The Divine Chief Judge is coming. Grand Elderling did not know about the Demon Zombie Palace, but he knew that there was a stronghold nearby. Qin Yun immediately told him about the Zombie Demon Palace. After Great Elderling heard this, although his expression was grave, he was not surprised. Obviously, he had already expected that there was a problem with the Nine Sons Dharma spirit. The Nine Yang Law spirit split into a Nine Yang evil spirit. If that's really the case, then our Ling family's patriarch really saw something, so we have to separate from the Great Divine Lord now. Great Elderling's tone was heavy as he sighed. The Nine Sun sacred ground was in danger, and now there was another Nine Sun evil spirit causing trouble. The divine wilderness would not be peaceful in the near future. The Nine Sun evil spirit should know about the Nine Sun sacred land. It should also want to exterminate those living beings, but it chose to use extreme methods. Grand Elder Ling snorted coldly. This guy wants to sacrifice us. He wants to turn us into those evil zombies. The nefarious demon zombie army would bite those things in the Nine Sun sacred ground and turn them into nefarious demons so that they could be controlled. We're going to destroy that zombie devil palace. If we continue, the entire divine desolate will become like the Nine Heavens. Qin Yun now understands how the Nine Heavens turned into hell. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and received the news from the Grand Inquisitor. He had arrived at Heaven Fox City and met with Huixiang Quang. Ling, after the Great Elder heard about it, he immediately arranged for someone to bring them to the Ling clan's metalstone shop. No, not long after, the Divine Judge, Xia Wufeng and Hua Xiangquang arrived at the top floor of Ling clan's metalstone store to meet with Qin Yun and the others. God the President also knew Great Elder Ling. After they met, they greeted each other politely. "Boss Xia, prepare for a great battle. The enemy this time is very dangerous." Qin Yun said, "Isn't that what we do? After becoming a divine throne god, I will definitely have to shoulder heavy responsibilities." Xia Wufeng laughed carefreely. He was not afraid. The Divine Judge had already arranged for many teams of various sizes to secretly gather in Heaven Fox City. They were going to carry out a sneak attack, so they had to keep their movements small. And Huixiang Quang had already sent his subordinates to investigate the zombie demon palace. They were from the Fire Tribulation Madman race. They could turn into a ball of flame and were very hard to kill. Furthermore, the flame could easily drill through any cracks. The Mystic Moon Alliance will also take action, Qin Yun said. The Nine Yang Sacred Hall, the Raging Sun Tiger race, the Purple Sun Elves, the Nine Yang Royal race, and the others were all centered around the divine court of the Myriad Realms. The big shots of these forces were already on standby. The Divine Judge took out his Myriad Heavens Divine Punishment flag and said with sigh, "It should be that Nine Sun evil spirit that took away the power." The Myriad Heavens Divine Punishment flag lost its luster and became very old. Qin Yun took it and said, "I have to properly study it. Give me some time." Then he asked Great Elderling for a secret room. He wants to enter the secret room and let Taisher take a look. After Qin Yun entered the secret room, Great Elderling and the Divine Judge talked about the matter of Nine Sun Holy Land. The Divine Judge is in charge of the divine court of the Myriad Realms. He is also very concerned about the changes in the Nine Sun Holy Land. After he and Xia Wufeng heard about it, they are extremely shocked. After Qin Yun entered the secret room, he took out the Gemini treasure mirror and pointed it at the Myriad Heavens Divine Punishment flag. "Brother Taisher, I've told you about this flag before. Can it recover now?" Qin Yun asked. "It can't recover to its original appearance, but I can give this flag an even stronger ability. It can allow this flag to steal the divine power of the Myriad Realms' divine sun." After Qin Yun saw the words that appeared on the Gemini treasure mirror, he very happily said, "Then what should I do?" The hint given by the Gemini treasure mirror is actually very simple. It is to use the Divine King Heavenly Seal and imprint it on the flag 9 times. Every time it is imprinted, it would take a short while. Very quickly, After 9 different seals were imprinted, the myriad heaven's divine punishment flag turned golden and looked somewhat different from before. After you give it to him, he will know how to use it. Qin Yun relaxed and placed the myriad heaven's divine punishment flag to the side. Then, he took out the star dome divine mirror. The star god has already entered the star dome divine mirror, and there is still no news of him. Qin Yun is starting to worry. Old brother Taisher, what's going on with this star dome divine mirror? After a friend of mine entered, she didn't come out. At first, she could still communicate with me, but now I can't even sense her. Qin Yun used the Gemini treasure mirror to illuminate the star dome divine mirror. Your friend will be fine. She is just immersed in it. This star dome divine mirror is very powerful. It is formed from something similar to an energy body. There is a very small world inside. There are a large number of stars formed from heavenly runes. Qin Yun looked at the words that appeared on the Gemini treasure mirror and found out about the details of the star dome divine mirror. He could not help but jump in fright. You can fuse the Gemini treasure mirror and the star dome divine mirror. The process is very simple. You will need to consume divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun's eyebrows twitched because this would definitely require a large amount of divine universe golden stones. Ling, there's still 300 million divine universe golden stones that Chong Xiong lent him before in the 9-sun divine spirit. After fusing, what will happen? Qin Yun has always wanted to use the star dome divine mirror. The Gemini treasure mirror's power will be retained, and as your strength increases, the power of this mirror will also become stronger. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and decided to fuse. Under the guidance of Taisher, he placed the Gemini treasure mirror and the star dome divine mirror together, and then placed the divine king heavenly seal on the back of the star dome divine mirror. Next, he placed the divine universe golden stones into the divine king heavenly seal. After the divine king heavenly seal fused with Taisher, it opened up a space inside that could store the divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun painfully transferred the divine universe golden stones into the divine king heavenly seal and waited for the fusion to succeed. Taisher also said that after the fusion is successful, it can help awaken the star god who is immersed in cultivation. When she wakes up, she can come out. Chapter 28:07. Qin Yun thought that 300 million divine universe goldstones was enough, but not long after, half of the divine universe goldstones in the storage space inside the divine king heavenly seal were gone. Looks like 300 million is not enough. How much more do I need? Qin Yun immediately contacted Grand Elder Ling and asked him to send in the divine universe goldstones. He had just deposited 2 billion in the Ling clan goldstone store and had yet to receive interest. He needed to use a lot now. Qin Yun told Grand Elder Ling that he needed large amounts of divine universe goldstones to restore the divine punishment flags. Grand Elder Ling did not ask much and arranged for people to send boxes of divine universe goldstones to Qin Yun's secret room. Those boxes were storage divine tools that could store divine universe goldstones. They were big boxes that could store 10 million divine universe goldstones. The divine universe goldstones arrived one after another. Qin Yun first asked for 100 million, but it didn't take long for it to burn out. He could only ask people to send more. Half a day passed, and a total of 700 million divine universe goldstones were sent over before the 2 mirrors were fused. It took 1 billion divine universe goldstones to fuse. Why is the consumption so high? If Qin Yun had known earlier, he would not have fused so decisively. When the divine chief judge found out that Qin Yun wanted a lot of divine universe golden stones for the myriad heaven's divine punishment flags, he felt somewhat apologetic. Then he discussed with Great Elder Ling and transferred 700 million to Qin Yun's divine universe gold card. The divine court of myriad realms had a lot of divine universe gold stones. After all, they had many powerful gods. Moreover, they passed down all kinds of divine techniques to various sects in the divine desolate heavens, so they would collect a lot of divine universe goldstones. Qin Yun did not know about this. He was looking at the mirror in his hand. It had turned into a pale, golden round mirror. It was slightly bigger than his palm. Its shape was neither the Gemini treasure mirror nor the star dome divine mirror. But like the Gemini treasure mirror, it had a handle. The star dome divine mirror did not have a handle. Then what should I call it now? Qin looked at the mirror and muttered. He was struggling with his question. Divine mirror of primordial beginning. A voice suddenly appeared in Qin mind. The voice was stiff as if it was produced by a machine. It was emotionless, and the intonation was somewhat inaccurate. Previously, Taisher could not communicate with Qin mentally, so he could only receive it. Brother Grand Beginning, where's my sister, Astral God? Qin looked at the divine mirror of Grand Beginning. It looked like a mirror. I'm waking her up. Wait a moment. Taisher's voice rang out. Not long after, the divine mirror of primordial beginning trembled, and then it shot out a powerful ray of light into the sky. In the end, a woman in a white dress appeared. Star God finally appeared. She's still in a daze. After seeing Qin, she hurriedly hugged him. Qin also tightly embraced the charming Star God, feeling her delicate and warm body. Big Sister Star God, I missed you so much. What happened to you during this period of time? Qin hugged her and sat on a chair. Star God sat on Qin's thighs. Her long jade-like legs stretched out from the slit in her white dress. I'm cultivating. I really didn't expect that inside the star firmament divine mirror would be such a wonderful world. I've gained a lot from it. The Star God was very happy and kissed Qin with a smile. Many things have happened outside during this period of time. Qin's hand is currently placed on the Star God's abdomen. He gently rubbed it and felt the divine power within her body. Just by sensing it a little, Qin jumped in fright. The divine power within the Star God's body is very strong. She has indeed been cultivating during this period of time, and her cultivation has already surpassed Shun Tianjuan's. Big Sister Star God, you become so strong. Qin said in shock. Of course, I haven't been sleeping during this period of time. Star God said, there are many stars inside the star firmament divine mirror. Most of them are runes that transformed into heavenly runes and finally into stars. Soon after, Qin told Star God many things that happened in the divine desolate. After Star God found out, she was momentarily unable to accept it because too many things had happened after she entered the star firmament divine mirror. Little brother Xiao Yun, a spirit body has already appeared in this star firmament divine mirror. You can let it guide you on how to use it. Star God walked down from Qin's thigh, took off her long dress, and changed into a set of white soft armor. Big Sister Star God, where are you going? Qin asked. I am Star God. Of course I have to report to the Myriad Realms Divine Court. Star God said with smile. Divine Judge is outside. Qin saw that Star God has become so strong and relaxed a lot. Is that so? Then I'll go find Sister Shan and others. They haven't seen me for so long. They must have thought that you hid me. Star God said. Actually, Star God wants to find Xian Rujing. She and Ice Goddess Xian Rujing have a very good relationship. Although they bicker from time to time, they are very concerned about each other. Qin gave her a magic mirror and added her into the Divine Moon Clan's group. Qin is also in the Divine Moon Clan's group, but apart from the core members of the Divine Moon Clan, other women don't know that he is in the group. Therefore, he is the only man in the group. Ling Yuner likes this group very much because she can often see many beautiful women taking selfies. Many of them are very hot. Star God walked out of Qin's secret room and saw Divine Judge and others outside. Divine Judge, Sword God, long time no see. Star God greeted with smile and said, I will go find Divine Moon Clan's Empress. She is at the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. Star God, you seem to have become a lot stronger. Divine Judge is startled and then said, Of course, my current strength should be at the forefront of the Myriad Realms Divine Court. I will leave first. Star God finished speaking and flew out of a window. Grand Elderling looked at Star God's departure and said in shock, How did this woman run out of Boss Qin's secret room? What did she go in? I don't know. Maybe she is helping Boss Qin inside. Star God has mastered a very strong star secret technique. It is very strong. Divine Judge said. In the secret chamber, Qin Yun looked at the mirror and asked, Brother Taishur, what did Sister Star God do when she entered the Star Dome Divine Mirror? I thought she could help me use the Star Dome Divine Mirror. Because she entered the Star Dome Divine Mirror, it evolved, and the star transformation heavenly rune inside acknowledged you. Taishur said. Qin Yun firmly grasped the handle of the primal beginning divine mirror and said, Does this thing have a very strong power? How do I use it? Currently, there is only one ability, which is to shoot out very strong starlight. The starlight is formed from star runes. After being illuminated by this starlight, the body will be unable to move. Taishur said, This is the ability of the Star Dome Divine Mirror, and my ability is naturally stronger than the Star Dome Divine Mirror. Qin Yun naturally knows the ability of Taishur. This guy knows a lot of things. He secretly guessed that Taishur might be a variant of the Heavenly Rules Tao Orthodoxy. Please remember this book's domain name, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor mobile version website. Chapter 2808. Qin Yun wanted to test the ability of the Star Vault Divine Mirror inside the Divine Mirror of Primal Beginning, so he let Ling Yun come out. Ling Yun is either in the Calamity Gate or inside the 9-Sun Divine Soul. Xiao Yun, why did you ask me to come out? I am the 9-Sun Divine Spirit. Watching Dai Exin and the others cultivate. Ling Yun muttered, Let's try out this divine tool of mine. Qin Yun said with a smile, This is the evolved Star Dome Divine Mirror, the Divine Mirror of Primal Beginning. Yun looked at the mirror in Qin Yun's hand and said with a frown, Is it really evolved from the Star Dome Divine Mirror? It didn't look like the Divine Mirror of Grand Beginning at all. It does look like the Gemini Treasure Mirror. It was fused with these 2 mirrors. Quickly come and give it a try, Qin Yun said with a smile. What do you mean by 2 mirrors fusing together? What about Big Sister Star God? Ling Yun hurriedly asked. She was very concerned about Star God. She came out and went to the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range to find Sister Shang Yun and the others. Qin Yun has already activated the Divine Mirror of Primordial Beginning. What? When she came out, why didn't you call me? Ling Yun was very concerned about this charming beauty. To the incipient God mirror shot out a white halo that shone on Ling Yun. Ling Yun immediately exclaimed, What the hell? I can't move. Give it a try, Qin Yun said with a smile. Ling Yun groaned and her delicate body trembled. She erupted with a very strong divine power and the movement was not small. But unfortunately, she was still unable to move. Ling Yun's cultivation is not very high. It is more or less the same as Qin Yun, but she cultivates Nether Sun and has a small Nether Sun inside her body. Her divine power is not weak. But now, he couldn't move because of the mirror. Qin Yun also realized that using this immobilizing ability consumed a lot of his divine power. It didn't take long for him to consume 20% of it. This move wouldn't take long. Huh? Yun shouted loudly. A berserk divine power rushed out and sent Qin Yun flying. She finally broke free, but it took some time. Very awesome, Qin Yun said with a smile. This mirror is amazing. If you had attacked me just now, I would have been done for. Ling Yun smiled tenderly and said, Little Yun, if you meet a beauty, use this to freeze her. And then, Qin Yun pinched her face and let her return to the 9-Yang Divine Spirit. He looked at the primal beginning divine mirror in his hand and was quite satisfied with its ability. Old brother Taishur, what was that move just now? Qin Yun asked. Taishur was now also the spirit of the Star Dome Divine Mirror. This move is called the Star Fixing Divine Art. With your current strength, you can only use the most basic power. If you're strong enough, you can even freeze a super divine sun or a super nether Sunday. You can make these huge celestial bodies stop moving. Cloud Yin took a Yin said, Yin, son of Yin is Star Yin son of Star. Son of Yin Yin said. What other abilities does the Star Dome Magic Mirror have? Qin Yun wanted to know. Not yet. You need to wait until you become stronger before it will appear. Taishur said, Hurry up and raise your cultivation. Qin Yun sat on the chair and suddenly thought that Taisher was similar to heavenly law Tao orthodoxy. Then he asked Taisher about it. The so-called heavenly law Tao orthodoxy is indeed in existence similar to me, but it is much weaker than me. The power of heavenly law Tao orthodoxy can only be limited to a small space. Once the space is expanded, the heavenly law Tao orthodoxy will become useless. Divine Desolate is currently in a huge space, so the heavenly law Tao orthodoxy is gradually losing its effect. Although the heavenly law Tao orthodoxy is very weak now, it cannot be underestimated. If it is used properly, it will be very terrifying. You must obtain it as soon as possible. Taisher said, after you obtain it, I can devour the heavenly law Tao orthodoxy. What? You can devour it? Qin Yun had long wanted to see the heavenly law Tao orthodoxy. It is hidden in the law enforcement realm. I wonder if it is in the Heaven Secret sect. Since Yu Xieji saw Huayu, Xin Shazi was suspected. He hid early on and did not dare to show his face, afraid that he would be killed. After you finish dealing with the matter of the Zombie Devil Palace, I will bring you to find the miracle that accompanied the appearance of the sixth divine sun. Taisher said again. Qin Yun thought that Taisher had already forgotten about this matter. There really is a miracle. What kind of thing is that? Qin Yun cannot help but be curious. I can't be sure for now. I will have to go to the scene to see. Taisher's voice sounded very strange. It is neither human nor ghost. It has no emotions, but it also has a faint aura. Qin Yun looked inside the nine-sun divine spirit. There are more than 10 purple ginseng that have been planted. The dragon peach tree has also grown into a sapling. He can't cultivate now. The matter of the Zombie Devil Palace has not been dealt with. Qin Yun picked up the heavenly law divine punishment flag and walked out of the secret room. When the divine judge saw Qin Yun come out, he immediately stood up. When he saw the heavenly law divine punishment flag flickering with golden light, he could not help but become excited. Divine judge, this heavenly law divine punishment flag might be a bit different from before. I'm not too sure about the specifics. In short, it will be a bit stronger than before. Qin Yun handed over the heavenly law divine punishment flag to the divine judge. The divine judge held the flagpole and felt a great difference. Moreover, he was sure that it was indeed stronger than before. Very good, many thanks. The divine judge's voice is somewhat excited. You're welcome, this is what I should do, Qin Yun said with a smile. Very soon, you will be able to use those guys from the Zombie Devil Palace as sacrifices. Qin Yun doesn't need to worry too much about the matter of attacking the Zombie Devil Palace. When the Divine Court and the Divine Moon Alliance join hands, their strength is still very strong. The Divine Judge has always wanted a rope in the Heavenly Dragon Emperor to join the Divine Court. If the Heavenly Dragon race is present, the Divine Court's strength will increase even more. Dang, however, even if there is no Heavenly Dragon race, the Fire Tribulation Mad Race is also not bad. Fire Xiang Kuang's own strength is comparable to the Sun En race's Emperor and Law Enforcement Realm King. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted Xiao Yuelon. The preparations are almost done. The Bright Moon sect is also on the way. How about this? I will sneak into the Zombie Devil Palace. You guys hide nearby and wait for my signal. Qin Yun said, I will go inside first and break the barrier inside. That way you guys will have a much easier time. There won't be any danger, right? The Divine Judge asked. It's fine. Qin Yun waved his hand and said with a smile, then it's settled. Remember to hide well and wait for my signal. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he immediately left the Heavenly Fox City. Xiao Yuelon is already waiting for Qin Yun outside the Heavenly Fox Mountain Range. She is thinking the same thing as Qin Yun. She wants to sneak in and cause chaos inside before informing the outside to attack. Did you see Big Sister Star God? Qin Yun said with a smile. You hid her for so long, causing us to not be able to see her for a long time. Xiao Yuelon curled her lips and said. Qin Yun said, does Sister Shang Yun agree to you and I sneak into the Zombie Devil Palace first? Of course she doesn't agree. so I came here secretly. Don't tell her. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun's hand and flew towards the zombie devil palace. Chapter 2809. Qin Yun also knew that Yu Yun would not agree, so she did not say anything to Yu Yun and directly set off with Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yun, are you ready? Xiao Yuelon asked. What big guy? Qin Yun thought for a moment, but he could not guess what big guy Xiao Yuelon was talking about. If we enter the zombie demon palace, we will definitely destroy it. Xiao Yuelon chuckled and said, Big guy, it's something that can blow up the entire devil palace in one breath. Do you have one? We still don't know how big the zombie demon palace is. Qin Yun said with a smile, Don't worry. As long as we can enter, I guarantee that this zombie devil palace will be blown to smithereens. Xiao Yuelon knew that Qin Yun had a way. She said, I heard that you entered the moon's core of the heaven's divine moon and blew it up. I'll use little divine sun to blow it up. Those little divine suns are very precious. I can't bear to use them again. Qin Yun does not plan to use little divine sun to blow up the zombie devil palace because it would be a waste. Toes for what to use, he had not thought of it yet. If it really didn't work out, he would do it when the time came. It was very simple to make something that could cause an explosion. He just had to pour in a large amount of sun and moon divine fire liquid into the pill melting heavenly cauldron. Then he would draw on the divine power of a few divine suns and place in a large amount of divine universe metal stones. Most after that, he would let Yang Yang inject her divine power into the pill melting heavenly cauldron. Qin Yun also instructed Ling Yuner to do it. She was more familiar with it and could communicate with the spirit of the Dan melting heavenly furnace. In this forest, there is an illusory array. If we don't break this illusory array, once we enter, it will be very difficult to come out. We might even be seriously injured by the traps and killing arrays inside. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and saw the illusion array. It was obvious that it was not simple. Furthermore, it was absorbing the divine power of the myriad realms' divine suns to circulate. If we enter the zombie devil palace and destroy it, will the illusion formation disappear? Xiao Yuelon asked. He should be able to. Xiao Yuelon also has the mysterious penetration divine ability and invisibility technique, so she doesn't need Qin Yun's help. Very soon, the two of them burrowed deep underground, outside the demon zombie palace. A large number of zombies must have been transported here from various places through teleportation formations. Qin Yun touched the sturdy outer wall of the zombie fiend palace and took out the divine mirror of primordial beginning. Then, he took out the godly king heavenly seal and placed it behind the mirror. He activated the divine mirror of primordial beginning to shoot out a beam of light formed from runes. Tushur's main body is in the divine king heavenly seal. It contains a large number of runes. Grand Prime's consciousness was in the divine mirror of primal beginning. Therefore, when Qin Yun wants to borrow Grand Prime's powerful rune power, he needs to use the divine king heavenly seal. Qin the Cloud quickly tore a crack in the outer wall of the demon zombie palace, and it was done silently. After Xiao Yuelon saw this, she said with envy, Xiao Yun, your divine king heavenly seal is truly awesome. Of course, Qin Yun smiled and entered the rippling crack. Xiao Yuelon also followed them in. Both of them were wearing black clothes and black masks. Even if their invisibility technique failed, no one would recognize them. Where after passing through the outer wall, they arrived at the underground palace. It was like an underground manor, and there was a huge dark red bead hanging from the ceiling, shining with a dark red glow. There are a few small mountains, rivers, and all kinds of simple and crude stone houses inside. Is this the demon zombie palace? Why does it look so shabby? Xiao Yuelon secretly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun. After they entered, they did not discover anyone. It really doesn't look like it. I wonder where those evil devil zombies are. Qin Yun did not release the heavenly eye clone, afraid that someone would detect it. He can open his heavenly eye to check the situation ahead. There's a huge mountain in the middle. Let's go take a look. Qin Yun pulled Xiao Yuelon and carefully walked over. They walked over so that they wouldn't make too much noise. Just like that, when they were about to go over, they discovered that they stepped on something soft. They were immediately alarmed and floated up. They saw the black ground suddenly squirm, and then black people drilled out. Could it be that the underground is filled with this kind of stuff? Xiao Yuelon is extremely astonished. They thought that this was black soil, but after stepping on it, they discovered that it is actually evil devil zombies. These evil devil zombies all have dense evil devil aura. They do not have any life aura. Furthermore, this place is filled with evil devil aura, so it is very difficult to discover them. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon floated in the air and looked at the spacious ground below. It is pitch black everywhere, and the ground is filled with evil devil zombies. If one looked carefully, they would see that those stone houses are floating on the bodies of the evil devil zombies. Quasi to be exact, this group of evil devil zombies are under a black mud. The mud has already gradually solidified. Qin Yun carefully observed the ground and discovered that the mud is mixed with a large amount of blood, all kinds of blood. It is unknown where it came from. This is corpse refining. Taishi's voice suddenly appeared in Qin Yun's mind. Corpse refinement? Qin Yun frowned. It should be the nine-sun evil spirit's guidance. That mud is not only blood. It also contains the powder of heavenly devil divine sun and heavenly evil divine sun fragments. Taishi said again, after these zombies are refined, their bodies will become even more sturdy. Only now did Yun realize how terrifying this demon zombie palace is. Come, let's go to the center. Qin Yun wants to go to the center and place a big guy that can explode. He previously thought that there was no need to use Little Divine Sun, but seeing the situation here, he has no choice but to use it. Old brother Taishi, is there any way to make the explosion of Little Divine Sun produce even stronger power? Qin Yun asked, you want to use Little Divine Sun to blow up these guys? It won't work. The most terrifying thing about Heavenly Devil Divine Sun and Heavenly Evil Divine Sun is that they're not afraid of other Divine Sun's divine power and can even turn other Divine Sun's divine power into evil devil. Taishi said, if you want to kill these guys, it's best not to directly use Divine Sun's divine power. Xiao Yuelon saw Qin Yun's tightly knitted brows and sent a voice transmission to him. Xiao Yun, we just need to destroy this demon zombie palace. Leave the rest to the Divine Palace and the Divine Moon Alliance. She is very clear that with their strength, they are indeed unable to exterminate the evil devil zombies here. Qin Yun nodded. He and Xiao Yuelon have already arrived at the top of the mountain. This time, the primal beginning divine mirror in his hand suddenly trembled. Specks of light appeared on the surface of the mirror. To a hint, it means that there are people inside the mountain, and there are quite a few of them. There are a total of 7 guys, and they are not weak. Qin Yun said, there aren't many people inside the Demon Zombie Palace. Just as Qin Yun took out a bead from the Dan Transformation Heavenly Furnace, a few people suddenly flew out from the small black mountain they are on. One of the bald old men looked at the surging evil devil zombies in front of him and shouted in pleasant surprise, the evil Corpse King is about to be born. Chapter 28:10. When Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon heard about the evil Corpse King, they knew that it was a very powerful thing. After placing the exploding pearl, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon hurriedly retreated far away from those people to avoid being discovered. They kept their distance from the hill in the middle and took out their telescopic devices to look at the place where the corpses were surging. A large number of nefarious devils and zombies were pitch black, their flesh rotting and dripping black liquid. It was a disgusting and frightening sight. The evil Corpse King had not come out yet and was still under the evil demon zombie. It was only stirring up a lot of activity, and no one knew what it was doing. Qin Yun held the divine mirror of Grand beginning in his hand and shone it at the evil Corpse King in the distance. Before long, Taishi's stiff voice rang in Qin Yun's mind. The evil Corpse King is the strongest of this group of evil demon zombies. It relies on devouring a large number of evil demon zombies to become stronger and has a certain level of self-awareness. Then how strong is it? Qin Yun asked. He was somewhat worried that the evil Corpse King was too strong and difficult to kill. I'll take a look when we come out, Taisha replied. Xiao Yuelon transmitted her voice to Qin Yun and asked, Xiao Yun, do you want to detonate the things you placed here? Or should we wait for the evil Corpse King to come out and detonate it, blowing up the evil Corpse King as well? It's impossible for the things I've placed here to blow up all the zombies. At most, they can only destroy the zombie palace from the inside, so that the Divine Inquisitor and the others can come in and clear this place. Qin Yun shook his head. The bodies of the evil fiend zombies are not weak. It is impossible to destroy them all in one go. Then let's detonate it, Xiao Yuelon said. We should be able to block it with the Sun Heavenly Shield, right? Why don't we go out and detonate it? Qin Yun knew that Xiao Yuelon wanted to stay here and take a look at the evil Corpse King. Xiao Yuelon recalled that Qin Yun's cultivation level was not very high. For safety's sake, she nodded in agreement. She would detonate it after leaving. The few people guarding this place were extremely excited when they saw the evil Corpse King come out. This made Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon feel somewhat uneasy. The two of them soon reached the ground. After detonation, the commotion won't be small. Qin Yun contacted Divine Judge and others before detonating, telling them to be ready at any time. Xiao Yuelon had already taken out a long saber, ready to fight at any time. She was also contacting Yushang Yun. Boom! With a muffled sound, the area covered by the illusory array suddenly collapsed. Then, a large amount of violent flames sprayed out from the sunken pit into the sky. The sky had just brightened, and the pillar of fire was enormous. It could be seen from the distant Heaven Fox City, and the faint tremors could be felt. Then, a few more loud noises were heard. The few people guarding the zombie demon palace all rushed out in anger. They were all people who had surpassed Shun Tianjun, so naturally they were not killed by the explosion just now. The zombie demon palace could be considered to have been destroyed. The core of the barrier that protected the zombie demon palace was inside the demon palace, and the inside was very fragile. The explosion from the inside also meant that the entire zombie demon palace was completely destroyed. The illusion array on the surface also disappeared. After the illusion array disappeared, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon saw a large area that was enveloped by the illusion array. They could not help but feel their scalps go numb. There are countless corpses here. There were human corpses, as well as beast corpses, covering a range of several dozen li. Moreover, they were piled high, all of them badly decayed, their blood sucked dry. Great Divine Lord, this group of beasts, they actually killed so many people to refine corpses. Qin Yun could not help but become angry. They will be punished. Xiao Yuelon's voice is also filled with killing intent. They floated in the air and looked at the mountain of corpses and sea of corpses below. Only then did they realize that the great Divine Lord and the others had spent a lot of effort on the evil demon zombies. This meant that after being refined, the overall strength of the evil demon zombies would definitely not be weak. The few people who were in the zombie demon palace earlier had already flown out. Although they looked somewhat miserable, none of them were injured. After the demon palace was blown up, the evil demon zombies were not exterminated. At this moment, they all jumped out of the deep pit. After the flames that gushed out from the deep pit ended, a large number of evil demon zombies sprayed out. It was as if they had poked an ant nest, densely packed, and quickly jumped out. The pitch-black evil demon zombies let out all kinds of strange cries. Furthermore, as soon as they came out, they began to gnaw on the human and beast corpses on the ground. The corpses on the ground were not only drained of blood to refine corpses, but their flesh and bones would also become food for the evil demon zombies. When Qin Yun saw this, he immediately took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal and placed it behind the Primal Beginning Divine Mirror. Then, through the Primal Beginning Divine Mirror, he released a special flame that shot into the sea of corpses below. The blue flames are extremely fierce. Using the corpses as fuel, they quickly spread out. Who the hell is causing trouble? Get the hell out here. This place is under the jurisdiction of the Heavenly Court. You are going against the great Divine Lord. The bald old man said angrily. Qin Yun frowned. The great divine lord and the heavenly court had done such a thing, yet they were still shouting so loudly. It was as if they were afraid that others wouldn't know. Captain, the evil corpse king is coming out. Suddenly, a middle-aged man said excitedly. When the evil corpse king comes out, all the fellows hiding nearby will be finished. Cut the crap. Hurry up and extinguish the flames. We have been hoarding the food here for a long time. The bald old man shouted. A black shadow suddenly leaped from the ground into the sky. In the distance, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon noticed the extremely fast black shadow. The evil corpse king has appeared. The bald old man and the others were immediately excited because they could sense the powerful aura of the evil corpse king. So fast, Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and looked at the evil corpse king flying into the sky. The evil corpse king has a pair of black bat wings, and its entire body is covered in black scales. It looks like a person who is more than 2 meters tall. Its eyes emitted a dark green glow, and it also has a very big mouth. Its mouth revealed 2 long red fangs. The evil aura on the evil corpse king's body is very heavy. Even from afar, one could feel the ruthless and terrifying evil aura on his body. Evil corpse king, there are enemies nearby. Hurry up and find them and destroy them. The bald old man shouted. The evil corpse king is very high up in the sky. He coldly looked at the people below and then swooped down. In almost an instant, he arrived in front of the bald old man. The evil corpse king is much taller than the bald old man, and its body is very large. The evil corpse king's entire body erupted with a baleful aura, causing the bald old man to immediately realize something. However, just as the bald old man was about to react, his head was suddenly grabbed by the evil corpse king. The evil corpse king grabbed the bald old man's head. It looked like a huge palm grabbing a small apple. The bald old man screamed in fear. The corners of the evil corpse king's mouth curled up as a cold smile flashed across his face. On his other hand, the tip of one of his fingers suddenly grew longer. Like a sharp blade, it slashed across the bald old man's neck and beheaded him. Chapter 28:11. Complete book update the latest chapter of A Nine-Sun Divine King as soon as possible. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon frowned in shock. They never expected that after the evil corpse king came out, it would immediately kill its own people. The evil corpse king cut off the bald old man's head and then lifted the bald old man's feet. It opened its large mouth and caught the blood that spurted out from the bald old man's severed head. It drank the blood as if it was drinking water. This guy actually drinks blood like this. Xiao Yuelon said with a frown. The evil corpse king must be very savage. We must get rid of this evil creature. The evil corpse king sucked the bald old man like a coconut. This kind of evil demon wouldn't even let its own people off. If it met anyone else, it would definitely be even more brutal. Seeing that their captain was killed by the evil corpse king, the other people from the heavenly court were all terrified and immediately fled. However, as the evil corpse king drank the blood, it opened its black claws and grabbed at the few people who were fleeing. With a whoosh, something flew out of the evil corpse king's palm. Qin Yun hurriedly opened his heavenly eye and saw a few black bats flying out. They looked like they were condensed from black blood. These black bats are not small. They have a wingspan of more than a meter, and their flying speed is very fast. In an instant, they caught up to those people. Although those people had just surpassed Shintianjun, they were not weak. However, their necks were bitten by those bats. The few people who had their necks bitten struggled for a while before becoming motionless. Their souls flew out. The black bat flew back with the corpses of those people. At this moment, the evil corpse king had already sucked the bald old man's blood dry. Then it grabbed a person from a bat, cut off his head, and started drinking blood. No wonder they only sent a few people to guard the zombie devil palace. It seems like the great divine lord and the other upper echelons definitely know that this evil corpse king wants to drink blood. Xiao Yuelon snorted. Great divine lord, this group of bastards, They really want to trick their own people. Just how evil are they? Qin Yun said, "You well on. The divine judge and the others are already on their way. They will be here soon. Before they come, we will join hands to kill the evil corpse king. The heavenly court definitely knows about the situation here. The people they sent will arrive very soon. The evil corpse king should be very important to them. We can't let them get the evil corpse king." The bats released by the evil corpse king were already so powerful. If the heavenly court released a fellow like the evil corpse king into a big city, the consequences would be very serious. It might even turn an entire city of people into evil zombies. Xiao Yuelon nodded. She also had the same thoughts. Let me take a look at this guy's situation first. Qin Yun used the divine mirror of primordial beginning to illuminate the distant evil corpse king. The evil corpse king was drinking blood and seemed to know that someone was nearby, but he was not in a hurry at all. A large number of corpses below had already been ignited, turning into a sea of blue flames. The flames could only burn corpses, not evil demon zombies. "Brother Taisher, do you have a way to restrain the evil corpse king?" Qin Yun asked anxiously. "The body of the evil corpse king is very sturdy. I'm afraid it will be very difficult for you to break through that black scale armor." Taisha replied, "My myriad heaven divine saber is fused with the bloodline heavenly rune box. What can I cut through?" Qin Yun is extremely astonished. Taisha knows about his myriad heaven divine saber, yet he said that it would be very difficult to injure the evil corpse king. The evil corpse king scale armor is also formed by bloodline heavenly rune. The power within his body is even stronger, so the scale armor is even stronger and can block your saber. It is true that your saber is fused with the bloodline heavenly rune box, but that box is sealed. In addition, you need to be strong enough to unleash even stronger power." Taisher said, "Then do you have a good way to kill the evil corpse king? Can I use the inscription fungus queen or something like the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron to trap the evil corpse king?" Qin Yun hastily asked. Only now did he realize how strong the evil corpse king is. If even his myriad heaven divine saber can't do anything to the evil corpse king, then it would be very difficult for other people's weapons to break through the evil corpse king's defense. Other things are useless. Your divine power is too weak. You can't unleash the full power of the myriad heaven divine saber. But your wife can. However, even she needs to use a lot of power to attack. Taisher said again, "Seize the opportunity and lend her the saber. Let her use 70% of her divine power to attack." Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. Soon after, Taisher guided him again. When the time comes, he can use the star-fixing divine art, but the time is very limited. It might only be for an instant, and it will consume a lot of energy. Taisher also said that even if it was the great divine king and the others, it would not be easy to kill the evil corpse king. The evil corpse king was created by the nine-sun evil spirit under the guidance of the great divine king and the others. However, the great divine king and the others do not know how terrifying the evil corpse king is. The nine-sun evil spirit made the great divine king create the evil corpse king to bring disaster to the divine desolate. At that time, even the great divine king would not be able to control it and might even be devoured by the evil corpse king. Qin Yun cursed the great divine king in his heart for being so naive to believe in the nine-sun evil spirit. "Yuelon, your saber is not good. Use mine." Qin Yun handed over the myriad heaven divine saber to Xiao Yuelon. The myriad heaven divine saber was originally blue, but after Xiao Yuelon held it in her hand, it suddenly turned golden red. Moreover, runes that Qin Yun has never seen before appeared on the surface of the saber. How could this be? I only injected divine power into it. Xiao Yuelon said in shock. Why didn't this kind of reaction when this broken saber was in my hand? Truly valuing love over friendship. Qin Yun muttered. Actually, it is because Xiao Yuelon's divine power is very strong. Yuelon, the evil corpse king, is very strong. We will first go and fight with him. After that, you will seize the opportunity and use 70% of your strength to cut him down. Remember, there's only one chance. Qin Yin warned in a very serious tone. I got it. Xiao Yuelan is also very scary when she is serious. The evil corpse king drank a total of 3 people's blood. There are still 2 people he did not drink, and they are being held in the air by the 2 bats. This stinky blood is too unpleasant to drink. The evil corpse king looked at the sky where Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan are and laughed loudly. Your blood is very tasty. It emits a fragrance. Evil devil, the stinky blood you drank just now is the last blood you will drink. You better savor it for a while, because you are about to be finished. Qin Yun said with a sneer. You humans are the lowest level living beings in the divine desolate. Who gave you the courage to be so arrogant? As the evil corpse king spoke, his body shot over like a black beam of light. He instantly arrived in front of Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. His palm suddenly became very large. After opening it, it looked like a black devil claw. Furthermore, his fingernails are like 5 black sharp blades as they whizzed towards Qin Yun. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan simultaneously thrust their palms forward, releasing 2 powerful divine powers. Moreover, they fused together and attacked the evil corpse king. Chapter 28:12. A complete copy. I will update the latest chapter of the 9 Sons Divine King as soon as possible. The reason why Xiao Yuelan wants to join hands with Qin Yun is because their divine power can fuse together. The main reason is because they often cultivate the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together. Qin Yun did not know that when he saw the divine power he shot out naturally fused with Xiao Yuelan's divine power. He is also very astonished. The 2 divine powers fused and struck the evil corpse king's body, exploding with an extremely powerful might, and the evil corpse king was also sent flying. What happened just now? Qin Yun asked in surprise. That's the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. I'm leading it. After Xiao Yuelan finished speaking, she immediately flew towards the evil corpse king. Qin Yun followed. He is holding the 9 Sun divine hammer in his hand. Wearing a sky hat and heaven-trampling divine boots on his head, his defense is strong enough. His crown hat and heaven-trampling divine boots were mainly for defense. He needed to fuse with bloodline heavenly pattern materials before he could obtain better abilities from the godly Monarch heavenly seal. This was what Grand Prime had told him. If not, he would have tried a long time ago. The 9 Sun Divine Hammer had already obtained the bestowed ability, so it would become extremely heavy. Taishur said that this ability was called Heaven's Fall, and at its strongest, it would be as heavy as the heavens. Back then, Qin Yun had only casually thrown the 9 Sun Divine Hammer, and it had smashed through many floors. Although the evil corpse king was sent flying, the black scales on his body had a very strong defense, and it was difficult to injure his body. You humans, why don't you just stand there and let me drink your blood? The evil corpse king shouted angrily. Xiao Yuelan's speed is not slow either. She is even faster than the evil corpse king. She flashed behind the evil corpse king and slashed down a few times before immediately dodging. She did not stay for long. The evil corpse king was very confident in the scales on his body, but after suffering a few slashes on his back, he realized that the blade was a great threat to him. Die! The evil corpse king roared angrily. Waves of black, baleful aura surged out from his body, forming a domain around him. When Xiao Yuelan saw that the black domain is extremely powerful, she sent out a ball of divine power from afar. After that ball of divine power entered the black state, its speed suddenly slowed down a lot. This meant that she couldn't teleport behind the evil corpse king to attack. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to leave in an instant. After Qin Yun saw Xiao Yuelan test the domain's ability, he planned to give it a try himself. Then he grabbed the 9 Sun Divine Hammer in his hand and threw it towards the evil corpse king. The 9 Sun Divine Hammer flew towards the evil corpse king. When Xiao Yuelan saw Qin Yun attack, she felt that there was no need to throw the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. However, when she saw the 9 Sun Divine Hammer fly out, it exploded with a very heavy power, causing space to fluctuate. She felt extremely shocked. The 9 Sun Divine Hammer spun as it charged into the evil corpse king's domain. Because it was very heavy and very fast, it created a very strong shockwave that forcefully shattered the domain. This broken thing, the evil Corpse King, was also very angry. He clenched his black fist that was covered in scales and struck at the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. Boom! The incomparably heavy 9-Sun Divine Hammer smashed into the evil Corpse King's fist, causing a loud explosion. The evil Corpse King also let out a painful cry and was sent flying by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. Qin Yun waved his hand, and the 9-Sun Divine Hammer returned to his hand. His expression is extremely grave because the evil Corpse King's body is truly very strong. If anyone else was hit by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, their arms would definitely be torn apart. However, the scales on the evil Corpse King's fist did not fall at all. It was only his arm that hurt from the impact. This guy's indeed very difficult to kill, Xiao Yuelon said with a frown. She knows very well that if she used her previous saber, even if she used all her strength, she would not be able to cut open the evil Corpse King's scales. Qin Yun nodded and said, Yuelon, let's continue attacking. When he becomes flustered and shows a big flaw, we'll give him a painful blow. Xiao Yuelon nodded. Then, together with Qin Yun, they once again charged at the evil Corpse King. Not to mention that the evil Corpse King's defense is very strong. Its own evil devil power is also very tyrannical. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's defense is naturally not as strong as the evil Corpse King. If they were hit, they would definitely be seriously injured, so they need to be extremely careful. Yuelon, remember not to use the Sun Heavenly Shield to block, Qin Yun suddenly warned. The evil Corpse King has the power of Bloodline Heavenly Rune. This guy can easily pierce through the Sun Heavenly Shield. When Qin Yun faced Mu Jin earlier, the Sun Heavenly Shield was pierced through because Mu Jin has a very strong Bloodline Heavenly Rune. All right, Xiao Yuelon responded, and then fiercely attacked the evil Corpse King. Qin Yun is also watching with fear and trepidation. Because Xiao Yuelon is attacking at close range, the evil Corpse King is very agile. It almost hit Xiao Yuelon a few times. Xiao Yuelon roamed around the evil Corpse King and fought in close range. It is filled with danger. As long as she is slightly careless, she would be pierced by the evil Corpse King's nails. Qin Yun only found a gap, and then used Void Step to flash over. He used the 9-Sun Divine Hammer to ruthlessly smash the evil Corpse King's head. Every time the evil Corpse King's head was smashed by Qin Yun, its body would be smashed deep into the ground. Qin Yun hammered the evil Corpse King 7 times, but the evil Corpse King's head is still intact. He did not cause any injuries to the evil Corpse King. He only angered it. The evil Corpse King is indeed very angry. He's like a mole being hammered by Qin Yun, but he can't do anything to Qin Yun. Taisher previously said that the evil Corpse King's body is very sturdy. Qin Yun did not have any idea at that time. Now, after fighting with the evil Corpse King, he finally understood why Taisher said that even the great Divine Lord and the others were unable to do anything to the evil Corpse King. This guy must have a 3rd or even 4th generation bloodline heavenly rune. Who gave it to him? Qin Yun thought to himself. After possessing a bloodline heavenly rune, all aspects would improve. For example, Mu Jin, her current strength is extremely terrifying. If she received the right guidance, she might be as powerful as the evil Corpse King. Qin Yun held the hammer in one hand and the divine mirror of Primal beginning in the other. He has been waiting for an opportunity to lock down the evil Corpse King and then create an opportunity for Xiao Yuelon to attack. Yuelon, prepare to accumulate power. Qin Yun has been sensing the evil Corpse King's aura. The evil devil power on the evil Corpse King's body has already weakened to a certain extent. It is time to attack. Xiao Yuelon immediately accumulated the divine power in her body and warned Qin Yun to be careful. The evil Corpse King can also tell that the divine power aura overflowing from Xiao Yuelon's body is gradually becoming stronger. It is extremely likely that she is about to launch a very strong attack. At this moment, Qin Yun sensed a familiar aura surging over. It is the aura of the great Divine Lord. Not only the great divine lord, there's also the law enforcement realm king and the Sun En race's emperor. It's those bastards from the great divine lord. Xiao Yuelon also sensed it and hurriedly shouted, Xiao Yun, I can do it. Qin Yun immediately activated the divine mirror of primal beginning and shone it on the evil corpse king's body. The evil corpse king's body suddenly became unable to move. Xiao Yuelon suddenly slashed out with her saber, chopping straight down from the head, splitting the evil corpse king in half from the middle. However, at this moment, the evil corpse king's abdomen exploded and a large group of bats flew out. Chapter 28:13. Complete book update the latest chapter of the Nine Sun Divine King as soon as possible. Be careful, Qin Yun shouted. He is currently somewhat weak. Because he just used the star-fixing divine technique, he consumed a lot of energy. Although Xiao Yuelon used a very strong divine power and used the myriad heaven divine saber to hack apart the evil corpse king's body, she still looked very ferocious. She hacked at the incoming bats a few times. The bats are as big as pigeons, and there are many of them. They originally wanted to attack Xiao Yuelon, but they were scared off by the saber in her hand. Xiao Yuelon came to Qin Yun's side, and Qin Yun stored the evil corpse king's body. The scales on the evil corpse king's body are all bloodline, heavenly rune materials. What's going on with that group of bats? Xiao Yuelon looked at the bats that flew all over the place and did not chase after them. Those bats ran very fast, as if they were fleeing for their lives. They must be related to the evil corpse king. This group of bats should be carrying the soul of the evil corpse king. The evil corpse king is not completely dead. Qin Yun said in a low voice, Let's go quickly. The great divine lord and the others are coming. That group of bats just now also flew towards the great divine lord and the others. Xiao Yuelon immediately left with Qin Yun. At the same time, she contacted Yu Shangyun and told them that the great divine lord had arrived. What the divine court of the myriad realms and the Divine Moon Alliance needed to do next was to exterminate those evil demon zombies and prevent them from escaping to other places. Hua Xiangquang was the first to arrive. He brought thousands of fire tribulation mad race people with him. When he saw those evil demon zombies, he started killing them. When the divine judge found out that the great divine lord was here, he was not afraid at all. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon flew to a tall mountain outside the zombie devil palace. From here, they could see the people in the sky above the zombie devil palace. The divine judge and Yu Shangyun had already rushed over. They brought many people with them, and they were all extremely strong. After they arrived, they began to clear the evil demon zombies on the ground. The great divine lord, law enforcement realm king, and the emperor of the sun-moon race. They arrived on a cloud and floated in the air. They looked at the divine judge with cold and arrogant eyes. Great divine lord, that bastard's arm is already recovered. Qin Yun cursed in a low voice when he saw from afar. Xiao Yun, look at the little evil corpse king beside great divine lord and the others. Xiao Yuelon suddenly said. Qin Yun also immediately saw the little corpse king, Xiao Yuelon. The little evil corpse king was the size of a teenager. Its body was covered in black scales, but those scales looked very soft. The evil corpse king's eyes were filled with anger because his powerful body had been destroyed. His current weak body was formed by those bats. This guy really didn't die. His body is very weak now. If we meet him again, he will definitely die. Qin Yun groaned. Emperor of the Divine Master. You as divine king, as he you said, long divine. It's actually you old thing who's behind this. How many times have I said it? There's no longer any myriad realms divine court in the divine wasteland, and you're no longer a divine court elder. Great divine lord's angry old face was filled with coldness, his eyes filled with killing intent. There is only the heavenly court in the divine wilderness. The emperor of Sun En tribe shouted at the divine judge, Old thing, what you have done today has angered the nine suns' lost spirit. Not long from now, you will definitely be punished by the nine suns' lost spirit. Xia Wufeng said coldly. We are eliminating the evil demon zombies that are harming the divine desolate, and these evil demon zombies were created by you, right? Since the Nine Suns Lost Spirit does not punish you, then let us, the divine court of myriad realms, do it. Ha ha ha! The Emperor of Sun En tribe laughed out loud and shouted, "Idiot! The appearance of the evil demon zombies was created under the guidance of the Nine Suns Lost Spirit. Why should the Nine Suns Lost Spirit punish us?" Yu Yun, who is wearing black armor, said in a deep voice, "The one guiding you is the Nine Suns Evil Spirit. The Nine Suns Lost Spirit is no longer able to communicate with the outside world." "What nonsense are you talking about? How can there be any Nine Suns Evil Spirit?" The great divine Lord angrily rebuked. "You have ruined the Nine Suns Law Spirit's plans. Today, we will not let you off either. All of you must die." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon knew that the Nine Suns Evil Spirit guided the great divine Lord and the others to create a very powerful evil corpse king. With the strength of the evil corpse king, even the great divine Lord would not be able to do anything to it. Maybe it would be able to kill the great divine Lord. However, this great divine Lord naively thought that as long as they did this matter well, they would be rewarded by the Nine Suns Lost Spirit. Thinking of this, Qin Yun suddenly felt that living beings are still too insignificant. Even a peak existence like the great divine Lord would kneel down and lick the Nine Suns Lost Spirit. It can be seen that in this universe, there are still many transcendent and powerful existences. And currently, the reason why their group of living beings were able to surpass Shun Tianjuan's realm is also because of the change in the environment, allowing them to surpass this limit. And before the appearance of the Divine Desolate, it was extremely difficult to break through, let alone surpassing Shun Tianjuan's cultivation. Now that the Divine Desolate has been formed, the environment has changed greatly and the resources are becoming more and more abundant. All kinds of living beings can advance by leaps and bounds. Some strong races are born, and their strength surpasses Shun Tianjun. As for those humans who cultivated step by step for many years to become Shun Tianjun, when they found out that some living beings were born as Shun Tianjun or even surpassed Shun Tianjun, they all had the urge to vomit blood. The divine judge immediately took out the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag. After injecting divine power into it, the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag released a very strong red light. He waved the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag. Divine light rippled and set off a strong light wave. At the same time, the 6 myriad realms' divine suns in the sky released their divine power and entered the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag. The power of the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag suddenly increased. That terrifying divine power caused the great divine Lord and the others to be moved, and their faces turned grave. "Your broken flag, how did it recover?" The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted in shock. "It was Divine King Qin who helped me recover it." The divine judge shouted coldly and then crazily waved the Heaven's Divine Punishment Flag towards the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. "What are you doing?" The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's face changed greatly. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, 6 streaks of lightning flew out from the 6 myriad realms' divine suns and instantly landed on the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's body. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor screamed. Although he could endure it, it was extremely painful. The divine judge's attack was not over yet, and thunder came again. "Break!" The great divine Lord shouted and formed seals with both hands, as if he used a heavenly, law-divine ability. As he formed hand seals, a strong blue light shot out from his heart and wrapped around the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's body, forming a protective shield. A few bolts of lightning descended, and when they struck the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's body, they were directly shattered by the protective shield. "This guy is so strong. Could it be that he improved again?" Qin Yun said in surprise. "Xiao Yun, you haven't recovered yet. Don't go and fight with him." Xiao Yuelon warned. "When you are better, I will go with you." Qin Yun said, "I don't plan to go. I will let the divine judge test the great divine Lord's current strength." The great divine lord easily broke the divine judge's attack on the sun-moon tribe emperor. The divine judge snorted and continued to wave the heaven's divine punishment flag. The 6 myriad realms' divine sons released a strong light and turned into 6 huge swords. They descended from the sky and pierced towards the great divine lord and the others. Chapter 28:14. A complete copy. I will update the latest chapter of the 9 Sons Divine King as soon as possible. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had already retreated because he was no match for the Grand Divine Judge. Even a law enforcement world king would have no choice but to concede defeat in the face of a divine judge. Great Divine Lord floated in the air with a solemn and cold expression. Looking at the few light swords that pierced towards him, he could feel that this kind of divine power came from the depths of the myriad realms' divine Sunday, logically speaking. The all heavens godly punishment flags of the divine chief judge should have been destroyed. However, not only had they been restored, they had also become much stronger. Back then, the 9 Yang Law Spirit had promised to retract the divine chief judge's power. Great Divine Lord no longer had a weapon in his hands. But his strongest weapon was not the myriad heavens' divine sword, but the heart of the heavenly universe divine sun in his body. When the divine power of the myriad realms' divine sun condensed into a few light swords and pierced towards Great Divine Lord and the others, a blue light flickered on Great Divine Lord's chest. The divine power of the celestial universe, divine sun's heart, was extremely powerful. The blue light it released froze a few light swords. Destroy! Great Divine Lord sneered, and threw a palm strike towards the light sword floating in front of him. With a whooshing sound, the light sword formed by the strong divine power directly dissipated, turning into a mist of light that drifted away. Although I don't know how Qin Yin helped you restore the divine punishment flag, no matter what, you are not my match. The Great Divine Lord looked coldly at the Divine Judge. Great Divine Lord's aura was very strong at the moment. This was mainly because the Sky Divine Sun's heart in his body was releasing a very strong power. Qin Yin could not help but frown when he saw this from afar. The last time he fought with the Great Divine Lord outside the 4 Divine Sons, the Great Divine Lord was not that powerful. The Great Divine Lord's Sky Divine Sun heart was sealed. Now that the Great Divine Lord had become stronger, it was said that he had obtained an even stronger divine power from that heart. If the Great Divine Lord were to unseal that heart one day, then his strength would definitely be extremely terrifying. The Divine Judge's aura wasn't weak either, especially the deity punishment flags in his hands. They were currently absorbing the divine power of the 6 myriad realms' divine sons, releasing waves of powerful aura that turn into ripples of light. Don't think that just because you're the great divine king, you're invincible. The deity punishment flag in the divine judge's hand suddenly flashed and released an intense light. Everyone's eyes were pierced by the light. At this moment, the great divine Lord looked invincible, as if he was invincible. When the divine judge waved the divine punishment flag and smashed it, it was directly blocked by the light barrier released by the great divine Lord's body. This guy has become a lot stronger. Qin Yin never expected that after his battle with the great divine Lord, the other party would become so much stronger. If they were to fight again, it would not be that easy for him to break the great divine Lord's arm. There are quite a few people present. They are all puzzled as they watch the battle between the great divine Lord and the divine judge. This is because the great divine Lord and the divine judge are currently borrowing the power of the myriad realms' divine Sunday. It is clear that this was lent to them by the 9 Sons' lost spirit. However, they're using this power to fight. Since the 9 Sons' lost spirit had lent their divine power to them, they should have joined hands. But now, they are fighting to the death. Many people from the divine desolate land are also watching the battle through the magic mirror. They're also puzzled. Some people have already guessed that the 9 Sons' lost spirit's consciousness has split. No one knows. Only Qin Yun and company know that the ones controlling the myriad realms' divine sun are the Nine Suns' lost spirit and the Nine Suns' evil spirit. The Nine Suns' lost spirit can protect the core, and the Nine Suns' evil spirit can control the outside. The internal situation of the myriad realms' divine sun is also very grim. The power outside wants to break through the core and occupy it. The reason why Xiao Yuelon came out from the core is to eradicate the evil spreading in the divine desolate land and weaken the power of the Nine Suns' evil spirit. Otherwise, the Nine Suns' lost spirit in the core would be suppressed. The more evil power there is in the divine desolate land, the stronger the Nine Suns' evil spirit will become. Because the power of most of the living beings in the divine desolate land comes from the myriad realms' divine Sunday. Therefore, the power of those living beings is also a part of the myriad realms' divine Sunday. If a large number of living beings turn into evil spirits, the Nine Suns' evil spirit will become stronger and stronger. After the great divine Lord obtained the divine power bestowed by the myriad realms' divine sun, he began to counterattack. He is no longer being beaten up by the divine judge like before. The divine judge is not weak either. After all, the Nine Suns' lost spirit appointed him to be the divine judge. Previously, he was taken care of by the Nine Suns' lost spirit and was not weak in all aspects. Now, facing the great divine Lord whose strength had increased explosively, he could still fight very steadily. Great divine Lord, how long are you going to King fight? My zombie army is about to be annihilated. When will your heavenly court's reinforcements arrive? The evil corpse king, who was watching the battle from afar, suddenly shouted, because when the great divine Lord and the divine judge were fighting with their lives on the line, their strengths were evenly matched. If they wanted to determine the victor, they would definitely have to fight for a period of time. Chapter 28:15. A complete copy. I will update the latest chapter of the Nine Suns Divine King as soon as possible. Great Divine Lord also knew that he had hit his head. The reason they came here this time was to find out who killed the zombie demon palace and save a portion of the evil demon zombies. It wasn't easy for the evil demon zombie legion to develop to its current scale, and it would be difficult for it to develop in the future because the myriad realms divine court already knew about it. However, it was no longer up to the great divine Lord because it was the myriad realms divine court that destroyed the zombie demon palace. If they wanted to save some of the evil demons and zombies, they would have to start a war with the myriad world's divine court. The strength of the heavenly court was limited. Most of them were from the law enforcer's world and the Sun Moon divine tribe. Even if they participated in the battle, they would not be of much help. It's the Fire Tribulation Madman tribe. Sun Moon tribe emperor suddenly shouted, Hua Xiangquang is also below. Qin Yun should be nearby. The law enforcement realm king shouted, Great divine Lord, what should we do now? Those guys from the Fire Calamity tribe are not human at all. It's very difficult to kill them. Hua Xiangquang joined in the extermination of the demonic zombies, and it was as if he was cutting grass, killing a large number of them in a short while. Why didn't the enforcers and the Sun Moon Divine tribe send more people here? All right, where did the bastard from the Xiao ancient clan die to? Great Divine Lord shouted as he fought. Yu Shangyun was not fighting on the ground. Instead, she and Xie Wufeng were in the air. If the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor and the Law Enforcement Realm King were to take action, they would have to stop the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor from going down. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon suddenly arrived beside Yu Shangyun. Great Divine Lord, I have to say, you are all a bunch of idiots. Qin Yun said with a sneer. The Xiao Ancient Clan is the heaven-splitting ancient clan. They know how powerful the evil Corpse King is and escaped long ago. If we hadn't destroyed the evil Corpse King's true body, I'm afraid all of you would have become his blood pot by now. Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, You guys are really stupid. You were almost killed by the Nine Sun evil spirit. Bullshit. Great Divine Lord shouted angrily. You guys definitely don't know how strong the evil Corpse King's true body is. Fortunately, he just came out and his condition isn't very good, so we killed him ahead of time. Qin Yun laughed. If the evil corpse king is really powerful, how could he be killed by a weak chicken like you? The great divine lord mocked. Great divine lord, are you saying that I'm not even as good as a weak chicken? The little evil corpse king immediately shouted, You bunch of blood jars, just you wait. Evil corpse king, great divine lord doesn't mean that. The law enforcement realm king quickly explained. That's exactly what he meant. Let me tell you, if my real body wasn't destroyed, I could have cut off your heads with one finger. The little evil corpse king pointed at the great divine lord and shouted, Great divine lord, you can fight, but you better remember this. When I regain my true body in the future, the first thing I'll do when I return will be to settle the score with you. The law enforcement world king and the others were all dumbfounded. This evil corpse king wasn't something they could control. It actually wanted to kill them. Stop him! Great divine lord suddenly shouted. The law enforcement realm king and the Sun Moon tribe emperor immediately took action. However, the little evil corpse king's body suddenly wriggled and then exploded, turning into many bats. Those bats were very fast, and it was very difficult to catch all of them. Just like that, the law enforcement realm king and the emperor of the Sun clan could only watch as the little evil corpse king ran away. This bastard! The great divine lord shouted angrily and threw out a powerful punch. After knocking the divine judge away, he was about to charge at Qin Yun. Yu Shangyun, the divine judge, and Xiao Wufeng immediately arrived near Qin Yun. The great divine lord naturally knew that he was no match for the three people in front of him, so he could only forcefully retreat. You have ruined the Nine Sons' lost spirits' plan. Punishment will descend soon. Just you wait. The great divine lord laughed coldly. I won't kill you today. Only the Nine Sons' lost spirit will punish you. This is what the Nine Sons' lost spirit wants to do. I don't dare to steal his job. After he finished speaking, the great divine lord flew back to the emperor of the Sun clan and the others. Great divine lord, do you believe that you will all be devoured by the Nine Sons' evil spirit in the end? Xiao Yuelon said coldly. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Let's go. The great divine lord immediately left. He wanted to find the evil corpse king as soon as possible. Building the zombie devil palace to refine corpses was not only to refine a powerful army of evil demon zombies, it was also to refine the evil corpse king. The evil corpse king was the most important. Now that the evil demon zombies could no longer be protected, they could only save the evil corpse king. Otherwise, the great divine lord and the others would have failed too much. Soon after, Xiao Wufeng, the divine judge, and Yu Shangyun also landed on the ground and participated in the killing of the evil demon zombies. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had fought the evil corpse king before and were now exhausted. Only they knew how dangerous this process was. The divine judge and Yu Shangyun had only just heard of the evil corpse king and did not know how strong it was. In fact, even the great divine lord and the others did not believe that the evil corpse king was strong enough to fight against them. I wonder if the evil corpse king can really cultivate his true body. Xiao Yuelon said worriedly. No matter what, this crisis has been resolved for the time being. Qin Yun pulled Xiao Yuelon's hand and said with a smile, Leave this place to them. Let's go back. Xiao Yuelon nodded and returned to the heavenly Fox City with Qin Yun. Great Elderling is still in the heavenly Fox City. He has been watching the magic mirror the entire time, and he has also sent many scouts to the scene. After understanding how terrifying the zombie devil palace is, he is secretly alarmed. Fortunately, their Ling family did not participate. Although the great heaven divine race participated, no one came this time. This divine desolate is about to enter a chaotic period. Great divine lord and little divine king. It seems like little divine king is a bit stronger. Great Elderling nodded. The divine judge should be Boss Qin's subordinate. His subordinates are on par with the great divine lord. Not long after, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon returned to the Ling clan's Golden Stone shop. They entered the luxurious suite to take a bath and wash away the evil aura from the zombie devil palace. Then, the two of them hugged each other and slept. They cultivated the third level of the Sun and Moonheart Sutra and recovered their previous losses. The news of the zombie devil palace spread very quickly. Furthermore, this was done by the heavenly court led by the Great Divine Lord. The law enforcement realm, Great Heaven Divine Race, and Great Eem Divine Race participated. This matter caused public anger because many small cities have been destroyed by nefarious demon zombies. The people who escaped from the small cities all talked about how terrifying the evil devil zombies are. They never expected that this kind of evil devil thing was actually created by the heavenly court. Furthermore, the heavenly court is not only targeting small cities, they're also targeting large cities. However, this plan was seen through and was stopped by the divine court of the myriad realms and the divine moon alliance. This matter immediately caused many people to have a very bad impression of the heavenly court. In the divine desolate, the large and small cities are not only the habitats of humans, but also the places where a large number of non-human races gather. And the heavenly court actually wanted to turn them into evil devil zombies. Chapter 28:16. This time, the divine court of the myriad worlds took action to exterminate a large number of evil spirits and zombies from the zombie demon palace. This made many living beings and powerful races in the divine desolate feel a lot more at ease, and they all applauded. The reputation that the great divine Lord had accumulated not long ago was gone in an instant. Now, most people started to question and hate the great divine Lord. And this was because the evil demon zombie was very dangerous, and Great Divine Lord was the mastermind behind the creation of this batch of evil demon zombie. This made everyone treat him like a devil. Big after the Divine King and the others found out about this, they were all very angry. However, they did not think that there was anything wrong with them because they were just following the instructions of the Nine Yang Law Spirit. One must know that there were millions of people who had been turned into nefarious demonic zombies. As for the relatives and friends of these millions of people, as long as they were still alive, they would all know how terrifying the evil spirit zombie was. Therefore, at this moment, they all hated the great divine Lord to the core. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan rested for an entire day. The two of them enjoyed a rare moment of peace and were intimate in a sweet world of two people. When they were cultivating together, they tried to open the Nine Sun Divine Soul's eighth pearl together. However, they did not succeed. Furthermore, when they are cultivating together, Qin Yun can clearly sense that his and Xiao Yuan's divine power is not equal. This is mainly because of the difference in cultivation. Xiao Yuan's cultivation is higher than his, so it's normal for her divine power to be stronger than his. As a result, when they cultivated together, their divine powers did not fuse harmoniously. Recently, too many things have been bothering me, causing me to not have time to cultivate. Qin Yun hugged Xiao Yuan and gently rubbed her hand. Xiao Yuan got up from Qin Yun's bosom, put on her clothes, and said with a smile, "Then I won't disturb your cultivation. I will go to the 6 myriad realms divine sun and see the situation inside. Will it be dangerous?" Qin Yun also got up from the bed worriedly. What danger could there be? If the Nine Suns' evil spirit really wanted to attack our Nine Suns goddess, it would have done so long ago. Xiao Yuan said, "The Nine Sun Law Spirit and the Nine Sun Evil Spirit are fighting. Although the Nine Sun Law Spirit is at a disadvantage, protecting our Nine Sun Divine Maiden is not a problem." Although Xiao Yuan said so, Qin Yun is still worried. Yumi should be coming out soon. I'll go ask her first. This little girl, after staying in the myriad realms divine sun core for so long, she must be bored to death. Xiao Yuan chuckled. After she comes out, she won't be as strong as you, right? Qin Yun curled his lips. These 9 young divine maidens did not need to cultivate much. All they needed to do was stay in the divine yang core for a period of time. Their strength was frighteningly powerful. It made Qin Yun very envious. Of course, we are the 9 Sun Divine Maidens. It is normal for us to receive such treatment. Xiao Yuan smiled and gently caressed Qin Yun's cheek. She said, My little husband, if you don't want to cultivate diligently, it's fine. Our 9-son divine maiden will protect you. Qin Yun said with smile. It is not certain who will protect who. I'm the strongest. Just wait and see. No matter how fast you break through, you're not as strong as us. In this new realm, our 9-son divine maiden can go even further. Xiao Yuelan said with great confidence. No matter how strong you are still my little wife. Qin Yun got up, hugged Xiao Yuelan, and kissed her. It's a pity that I didn't get to see the #1 beauty of the 9-son sacred ground. The next time I come back, I must see her. Xiao Yuelan knows that Ling Daixin is cultivating, so it is not good for her to enter the 9-son divine spirit to disturb her. Want otherwise, she would have already run in. Oh, that's right. Where's Yu Shaoling? Qin Yun suddenly asked. He is not used to the fact that this rogue elf is not here. Yu Shaoling is Xiao Yuelan's personal elf. She is not a clone. However, their souls have fused together before, so their memories can be interlinked. Qin Yun was once tormented by Yu Shaoling and Xiao Yuelan together. Xiao Yun, you are dead for sure. I have been back for so long, and now you are asking about Yu Shaoling. After I tell her, let's see how she will deal with you the next time we meet. Xiao Yuelan said with a naughty smile. Qin Yun pinched her face and said, I didn't forget her. I've been thinking about her all this time. Is that so? Then when I see her, I will tell her that you miss her very much. Xiao Yuelan smiled tenderly and said, Xiaoling's long legs are very perfect. It is normal for you to miss her. Quickly tell me, where is she? Didn't you say that you can't be separated from her for too long? Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuelan's wrist. She also has a 9-yin divine spirit hidden there. She is in the core of the second divine Sunday. Don't forget, she is a sun fairy. I will go back and find her now, Xiao Yuelan said with a smile. I really can't be separated from her for too long. Furthermore, I miss her too. When Xiao Yuelan was about to leave, Ling Yun'er also ran out and hugged Xiao Yuelan for a while. These two female hooligans quarreled endlessly. Qin Yun could only pull them apart. Great beauty Yun'er. Take good care, Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuelan rubbed Ling Yun'er's charming face and helped her tie up her hair. Big sister Yuelan, you have to be careful too. Ling Yun'er is also very worried about Xiao Yuelan. Qin after Yun sent Xiao Yuelan away. Ling Yun also returned to the 9-son divine spirit. There are a few beauties inside, so she won't feel bored. Qin Yun chatted with great Elder Ling in the Ling clan's metalstone shop for a while before hurriedly returning to the secret room. In the secret room, Qin Yun set up multiple barriers. Then, he took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and entered one of the multiple barriers. Indeed, after ensuring that there are no problems with the barrier, he took out the evil corpse king's body. The evil corpse king's body is very tall. The black scales on its body are each the size of a palm, so there are quite a few of them added up. I have to say, Yuelan is truly strong. She actually used the myriad heaven divine saber to split open this kind of solid black scales. Qin Yun took out the primal beginning divine mirror and illuminated the evil corpse king's body. He plans to use these scales to make a set of armor for himself. Taisher said, although the defense of these scales is very strong, without enough evil devil power to support it, the effect won't be very good. What? This is related to one's own strength? Qin Yun is startled. He thought that after wearing it, his defense would explode like the evil corpse king. Bloodline heavenly rune materials are all like this. Did you see the might of your wife's myriad heaven divine saber? If you used it, would you be able to unleash that kind of might? Qin Yun looked at the myriad heaven divine saber in his hand and said with smile, then wouldn't I be able to easily cut off these scales now? No, Taisher said. Qin Yun didn't believe it and immediately gave it a try. After spending a lot of effort, he only managed to cut off a bit of the black scale's skin. Old brother Taisher, didn't you say that the scales need to be supported by formidable power to be very hard? Why can't I cut them? Qin Yun said with an unconvinced expression. Because you are too weak. You can't even do anything to a scale that isn't supported by formidable divine power. Taishi's voice is very mechanical and ice-cold, but Qin Yun can hear a trace of ridicule in it. Double Qin Yun, who suffered a blow, immediately became motivated and shouted, "I want to become stronger. Next time I meet the evil Corpse King, I will tear it apart with my bare hands." You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.